him now and you could qualify for Carrier Cool Cash rebates up to $2,600 and 0% financing for up to 72 months. Rebates available for a limited time. For a free estimate, aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ring.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Happy Tax Day! That's what the Republicans said on the House steps today. Speaker Johnson came out and they were talking about doing another reconciliation process or something, trying to get everything funded, and he ended it with Happy Tax Day. And the panel on Fox News was like, ooh, it's not a happy day. You've worked this far through the year to pay your taxes. Now you can keep the rest because the government allows you to. So Happy Tax Day. Said with sarcasm.
Thank you.
I wish that I'd like to see like super sarcastic Mike Johnson, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like
Him
if
go
you
up there like he's Matthew Perry.
Create an AI sarcastic Speaker Johnson and then just have him translate it.
It would be great if he said the same things, though.
Oh, the message is the same.
The message is the same, but he's delivering it sarcastically for no reason.
That would reach more.
Oh, we want to cut taxes.
Happy Tax Day to you. Happy Tax Day. It's the best day for the Democrats.
We'd love to have a budget for once. You're like, yes, that's true, though.
We're all going, yeah. Is he serious? It'd pay more. I think he'd get more people's attention. He's like the most straight-laced. He's just so, he looks like an accountant. Mm-hmm. Which is good if you're, if
you're an accountant, you're like, I love Mike Johnson.
In charge of the purse.
Right. Like Judas.
Well, this is going in a direction that I had not anticipated. Our poll for today is about the Pope. And I took a little more time today in creating responses for the poll because yesterday I really sucked it up. I really implied yesterday on the YouTube poll, we asked, should the party of the person that would maybe be under an ethical investigation, should the party of that person matter, or do you want them out no matter what? And the way I worded it was basically like, the party shouldn't matter, folks. Just get over it. It was not my best work. Today, we are talking about the Pope, and I think at 105, we'll see how the show goes. At 105, we're going to take some phone calls on this, because I really am curious. I'd imagine we have a few Catholics listening, right?
It's St. Louis.
Are you Catholic, Ryan?
No.
Brad, are you Catholic?
Used to be.
Is the Pope Catholic?
Used to be.
That'd be the question that we ask it to. What if I'm just kidding? Kind of. I mean, I will, but I digress. The question that we're asking you today in the YouTube live chat poll, and also on the Annie Frey Show text line, 314-241-9797, should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important? So the Pope's the one who gets to determine what the Pope talks about, right? Should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important? Your answers are basically yes or no, but we want to know if you're voting yes or no and you're a Catholic or not. Because I'm curious to see the response here that I'm most curious to see what percentage of our audience responds. Should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important? I'm interested to hear how many of you folks out there answer no, he shouldn't, and you're Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
So we're 0 for 4 for being Catholic here, 4 for 4 for being Christian. We'll see our Catholic brothers and sisters in heaven. I am certain of it. Tom Homan, outside of the White House, weighed in on this issue, and I think it's a really interesting way in how he spoke about it.
I'm not speaking for the president, I'm speaking for myself, a lifelong Catholic. I wish they stay out of immigration. They don't know what they're talking about. Because if they wore my shoes for 40 years and talked to a 9-year-old little girl that got raped multiple times, or stood in the back of tractor trailer with 19 dead aliens at my feet, including a 5-year-old boy that baked to death, if they understood the atrocities that happen on an open border, I think their opinion would change. And I welcome a discussion with any of them because they don't understand. Illegal immigration is not a victimless crime. What President Trump had the most secure border in the lifetime of this nation right now. Lives are being saved. He's saving thousands of lives a year because he has a secure border. Human traffickers are out of business, right? The cartels are going bankrupt because of that secure border. I wish they'd understand that, because if they did, I think they have a different opinion.
So Tom Homan says, I'm not speaking for the president. I'm speaking for myself, and I'm a lifelong Catholic. So he is a no, but I'm Catholic. And I'm Catholic. I don't know if you want the and or the but in there. It's up to you. I listen to what he's talking about there, and he says something that when he said this phrase, and I'm sure he said this a million times, but it struck me this time when I heard it. He said, illegal immigration is not a victimless crime. And if you think about that phrase in and of itself, what the Democrats are trying to sell you is that at worst, illegal immigration is a victimless crime. There are a lot of Democrats who are in office right now who are trying to achieve elected office, who are there to tell you that illegal immigration is your patriotic duty because you are not entitled to this land any more than anybody else who's coming in. Why? Because what did the great philosopher Billie Eilish say at the Grammys?
Stolen land.
No one is illegal on stolen land. And then the tribe of the land that she lives on was like, we'll take it back. Yeah. You can't make this stuff up. I don't understand how the party that wants to say that all of our land is stolen from settlers 250 years ago or whatever it was, I don't understand how those people are also the, sure, come on in people. As if there's some sort of penance to keep in the Catholic theme. If there's some sort of penance in saying, well, we stole it first, so we must pass along the burden of having land be stolen. So if you want to come here, just come. The political positioning of illegal immigration on the left is that the worst that illegal immigration is a victimless crime. Okay, yes, maybe it's a crime, but who's really hurt here? Who's really suffering? Okay, well, if you find, all different demographics commit crime, so they're not going to be immune to that. But on the whole, they're not hurting anybody. They're coming to our country and they're paying their taxes and they're trying to work and earn an honest living. Nobody's getting hurt here. That's just not factually true. It's just not factually accurate because our country cannot sustain the amount of people who have come here who have lived off of the system, lived off the prosperity of the United States. I mean, you could go from different locations, immigrant communities in different areas around the country have different statistics, and I respect that, but Minneapolis has been under a microscope, and when you realize what percentage of the immigrants into Minnesota specifically are living off of government subsidy, it's enormous. And you can't be a respectable, honest country that serves its people, not a government that serves its people. I can't take you seriously if you can't respect the difference between immigrants and illegal immigrants. There is a difference. There is a definitive, on paper, in a courtroom difference between an immigrant and an illegal immigrant, and all of you know it. You know this. You're aware of this. And you prey upon people who dip into the news every once in a while because, let's be honest here, it's kind of like a reality TV show from somebody who, in some essences, wrote the book on reality television. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. What you're trying to do is message, politic, market the idea and the understanding that illegal immigration, nobody's really getting hurt by this. Come on, like what? Don't you have a heart? Don't you have a soul? Aren't you a Christian? How can you not want for other people what you have? You're not native to this country. In fact, I am. You're not somebody who was born here. Your family immigrated here illegally or legally. Have you checked my papers? We don't check papers. There's hypocrisy all over the place. And that's why they flood the zone with emotion, not with facts, because they're not going to win on the facts. And it's not the coolest, most fun place to be on the side of facts all the time and being like, but, checks notes. And they're like, but you're still, come on, don't you have a heart? The That's a hard thing to respond to because, yes, you do have a heart. Yes, you do have compassion for your brothers and sisters. But yes, you do also have a respect for law and order. And you actually have to respect the law and order of the land in order to have law and order in the land. We know this, and we're seeing it, the implementation of law and order in the presence of Donald Trump, who wants to respect the laws that were on the books, compared to the Joe Biden years where he threw them all out the window. We need to protect the border. We have a bipartisan agreement in Congress, and the Republicans won't get behind it. We can't do anything if Congress won't act. False. Not factual. In fact, deceptive and manipulative of a voting public because Donald Trump, day one, closed the border. Joe Biden could have done that at any time. You have to decide. Your chore here is to decide if he was too stupid, too ignorant, or too arrogant to do the job. Sometimes there's a trifecta. Sometimes it might be a little bit a presence of all three. So the Pope weighs in on these political matters that are American political matters. The Pope says that we shouldn't, that people shouldn't be starting wars. You have to ask yourself, is President Trump starting a war? When we're looking at criticism from the Pope about what's going on, you have to ask if what he's criticizing is actually factually what is taking place. Because if you just do what they, I'm not putting the Pope in a political side of the aisle. Because I think when I give you my answer to this poll question today, you might be a little surprised by it. But when the Pope is weighing in on an issue, you have the right to critique whether the facts that he's basing his opinion on are facts. You can accept or disagree with the assumption of the facts of the matter. And if you understand what Iran has been doing or saying for decades, and you know that they're basically in the business of being a threat. They're basically in the business of frightening and scaring people. They're basically in the business of being that petulant bully that's in the room that you try to avoid during recess because you just don't want to deal with it anymore. You know they're there. You're not doing anything to tick them off. Not really wanting to be a buddy because you know you're going to get in trouble if you do. You just understand the existence that they are there, and they're always going to be that way. It's kind of like an O'Doyle rules type of a situation. Generationally
Didn't
speaking.
expect that to come up.
That's why you listen intently. O'Doyle rules. Donald Trump comes in and decides he's going to do something about it once and for all, because why should everybody have to be in the playground yard terrorized all the time for kingdom come from generation after generation? Why should everybody always have to live like this? You don't have to live like this. We can eliminate the threat. In fact, the threat is maybe just a threat. Maybe there's not a lot behind what they're threatening with, but if we allow them, if we continue to capitulate to them, they could get to the point where they could really do some damage. What if we stopped them so that they couldn't actually be a threat? So you have 50 years of an Iranian terrorist threat that they throw their weight around as that's their modus operandi. That's how they do business. And Donald Trump comes in and says, we're gonna put a stop to this so we don't have to deal with this crap anymore. And he asks them to stop many times. And they're like, we got enough uranium for 11 nukes. Okay, so what else do you want him to do? Keep asking? Come on, people, we're all smarter than this. Go vote in the YouTube poll. Should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important? Yes or no, and we want to know if you're Catholic or not. YouTube.com/@AnnieFrey. And your thoughts on the text line, 314-241-9797. Margot Cleveland. Let's talk a little bit about what the thought that's on everybody's mind. Alex Vindman, next. So Todd Sivia of Sivia Law, I've been talking about him a lot. I went with my husband. We got our trust established with Sivia Law. This guy knows the game. He understands establishing a trust for you, for your family, that is going to answer all the questions. Yes, even those questions you didn't know that you had to ask yourself. You're going to sit and you're going to have thoughtful conversations, and you're going to put yourself in a position where, you know, when you have a friend whose mom and dad passes away, or if you have a friend whose spouse passes away, and you're thinking, gosh, am I prepared? Do I have in order what I need to have in order to avoid probate, which is just a pain in the butt? And you know that. You've heard about it. Do I have all of the particular intricacies in the relationships that I have ironed out so that whatever I want to have happen with my estate is going to actually happen? Todd Sivia can make this happen for you, and he can get you closing documents in less than 2 weeks. 833-995-WILL. Call 833-995-WILL. Mention Annie when you do, and get your first strategy session, $300 value, free. You got to mention my name to do it. Be one of the first 10 callers right now. 833-995-WILL, civialaw.com.
Do you feel vindicated by those?
Yeah, I do. They're a bunch of crooked people. You're talking about with respect to all of the things that they put against me? Yeah. Well, it's come out that in so many different ways. Thank you very much for that question. I appreciate it. But in so many different ways, the election was rigged. The 2020 election was rigged. We found that out. What you just said is just a piece of that. It's a big piece, but minor, relatively speaking, compared to what they did. They cheated in the election. They cheated on the vote. And they cheated in every way possible. And it's the only way we got an incompetent man to be a president. And he was an incompetent man. Many of the things that we're talking about, even including this would have been settled a long time ago, not now. And it should have been settled by other presidents. But the election was a rigged election. We can't let that happen to our country.
So President Trump speaking outside the White House a couple days ago, talking about the rigged election. But I want to key in on a reason why when you hear rigged election and you hear President Trump talking, you're thinking a lot about the mechanics of the 2020 election. Different story, not the one we're going to talk about right now. Let's talk about what the people in the deep state, in the swamp, let's talk about everything that they manufactured going into that 2020 election and the information that we continue to find out that gets revealed about how they tried to smear Donald Trump into not even being able to have a successful election in the first place, maybe not even running. And we're going to speak with Margot Cleveland to talk about that right now with the Federalist. I'm excited to speak with you, Margot, about this very, very thorough article that you have right now entitled 2019 Transcript Exposes Deep State Machinations Against Trump. Margot, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, well, thanks so much, Annie.
So I want to give you the opportunity to set up a little bit, just to frame people in right now. We're talking about the perfect phone call, the Zelensky-Donald Trump phone call, and all of the evidence, the whistleblowers that came together to say Donald Trump was using Zelensky in Ukraine. This is before Ukraine was like a main headline, using him to try to defeat Joe Biden in the 2020 election. Talk to me about this article that you have in the Federalist right now. What was just revealed?
Sure. So what was just revealed was the two transcripts that were taken by the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, which is known as HPSC, of interviews that they did with the Inspector General of the Intelligence Community, now former Michael Atkinson. And this has got to, we've got to rewind here back 7 years. So a lot of people probably have forgotten about this, but for the reasons that Trump was actually saying a couple days ago and that you kind of led up to, they shouldn't be. This is part and parcel of how they tried to cheat at the election, which was after, this is like 6 months after the Mueller special counsel went, bad, that all of a sudden we had an attempt to impeach Trump, which the House did, vote to impeach. And it all came down to something that the IG Atkinson did. There was a supposed whistleblower complaint, and I want to start out with that it was not a whistleblower. It was someone who was set up to be a whistleblower because someone else gave him information. It was the individual who was actually listening into, like you said, that perfect phone call between Trump and Zelensky. And that was one of the Vindman brothers. He was listening into the call. And then he went to the whistleblower, again, fake whistleblower, and said, Trump's doing this inappropriate stuff. He's trying to get Zelensky to investigate the Bidens to influence the 2020 election. And he took this to the Inspector General. The Inspector General then within 14 days said, oh, yeah, that's credible. But the Attorney General, the Office of Legal Counsel said, you know what? That has nothing to do with your role as an Inspector General in the intelligence community, because this is a conversation between two heads of states, one president with another president. So basically, stand down. But Atkinson instead sent this very cryptic note to Hipsey and said, I got this complaint and I'm supposed to be giving it to you, or, the office is supposed to be giving it to you, but we can't. And that blew up this whole impeachment scandal, which was over nothing. Because Trump eventually released, he's like, okay, fine, here's the transcript. There was nothing in there about interfering with the election. There was no quid pro quo, which was, made up later, that Trump was going to withhold money from Zelensky unless they did this investigation. And the irony of all of this is actually what Joe Biden did. It was actually what he did. He even bragged about it on tape. And this whole point of investigating, there was actually a scandal with the Bidens and Hunter. And, you got to connect this to that. That's the other thing the deep state did is when that story broke, the Hunter Biden laptop, which wasn't about Hunter being disgusting, it was about the pay-for-play scandal with his dad. And the deep state, again, buried that, got social media to censor it, again, interfering. And this one we have evidence because there are voters who said, hey, if I knew about this, my vote would have changed.
Yeah.
But I still say thank God for unanswered prayers, because if Trump won in 2020, we wouldn't have him now. And he is on steroids getting our country back.
Yeah, a lot of clarity while you sit and think about what could have been for 4 years while Joe Biden is doing all of the most ridiculous things that a Democrat, I guess by committee presidency, would look like. Margot Cleveland speaking with us right now, senior legal correspondent at The Federalist. I think it's important to lean into what you've just lined up here for us. Because what we're talking about is the deep state. We're talking about people behind the scenes who manage a status quo, who understand who they want to be in power and who they don't want to be in power. And they activate when that power structure is threatened. And Donald Trump, as an outsider and a bombastic one at that, a major threat to the status quo of the swamp. So I want to press in a little bit on what you were talking about there. I think it was Chuck Grassley and maybe Ron Johnson from Wisconsin. I can't not say from Wisconsin after I say his name. Were talking about, I think it was those two, weren't they, that were a part of the investigation into Hunter Biden and Burisma. And they were aware that there was an open investigation into the Bidens for improprieties that existed. This whole impeachment process, the perfect phone call with Zelensky, this all trumped, no pun intended, the reality that the Biden family was actually under investigation before he ran for president and ended up winning in 2020. So essentially it was a cover that was thrown out there into the American public so that you divert your attention and you look over here and the swamp's going to swamp, and they were pretty successful at it.
Oh, they absolutely were. And I have to, again, give props to the senator from Wisconsin, having grown up and been raised in Wisconsin myself. And they definitely were investigating, and they are now continuing on with Arctic frost, which is another part of this whole scheme. And as you say, it's the insiders who are controlling it. And one of the parts that's, again, really ironic is when Atkinson was fired, everybody came out, oh, it's horrible, he was fired. Trump's going after his enemies. It's like, no, he's going after the people who weren't doing their jobs and were politicizing it. Just like with Arctic frost, we saw the people in D.C. who were politicizing it. They get fired, and then later on it gets revealed that these were the people who were behind it and that they were justly fired.
Margot Cleveland speaking with us right now, senior legal correspondent at The Federalist. You're mentioning Arctic frost, and if people are tuning in on April 15th, 2026, I mean, like Annie's talking about Alex Vindman and the 2019 impeachment, they must have nothing to talk about. There's a lot to talk about in the news, but this cannot get left behind because, as you keep mentioning, Arctic frost, refresh our memories on what Arctic frost revealed to the American public about the furtherance and the higher-ups involved in the swampiness of the deep state.
Right. So Arctic frost was an investigation that was basically launched to look into President Trump's supposed crimes. And it was by the same players who were trying to protect Hunter Biden, same players who were protecting the Clintons and the Clinton Foundation. And we are seeing more and more details of this. I had an article probably several months ago in which one of the individuals who was working for Special Counsel Jack Smith, he was actually the guy who not only was pushing with the Arctic frost investigation of Trump, but he was the one who was burying the Clinton Foundation investigation. And on your point about, why are they talking about this? This conspiracy has been going on for a decade. It went back to when Trump came down the escalator. Mm-hmm. From then until today, it has not ended. It also hasn't been fully exposed. And until that happens, we're not going to get our republic back. We can't let this ever happen again. So, yes, it might be old news, but the news was actually never fully exposed. So there was so much detail and minutia. There's just no way we could cover it all. So I do hope people will go and take a look at the article, pull up some of the stuff on Arctic frost and read about it, because it shows the problems with what is happening when you have an administrative state, you have petty bureaucrats who are actually controlling and overriding the will of the voters.
Absolutely. Margot Cleveland, senior legal correspondent at The Federalist. I think old news is the goal here for the deep state. If they can get people to stop caring and be bored with it, then they win. Do you anticipate, of course, we've got a new attorney general to be nominated and approved there by the Senate sometime soon. Don't know who that's going to be if it's not Todd Blanche. Do you feel as though there is the resolve to get to the bottom of this so that accountability will be witnessed by the American people?
I do. There's supposedly a grand jury investigation going on. I know with Arctic frost, from my sources, there is still a lot more that's going to come out on that. And I think that we will get some semblance of justice, although justice delayed is justice denied. And if it takes a decade for this to happen, it's obviously not the best case scenario, but if we can keep this from ever happening again and institute some procedures in place to make sure that the bad guys are stopped early on, I think that we will have a change in how our government works.
Margot, this is Ryan, Annie's co-host. I just want to clarify as I'm writing this down, because there's a lot of detail here. I don't want to summarize. Are you saying that they faked in 2018, I guess, they faked a whistleblower to open an investigation, which was then fake because the whistleblower would have been fake, to do a fake impeachment? Is that summarizing it well?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The whistleblowers the first so-called whistleblower had no direct knowledge. The second and the third whistleblower, if you call them whistleblowers, the witnesses, they put their own spin on what the conversation was. And the conversation, as Annie's calling it, the perfect call. There was nothing in there that was inappropriate, and in fact, it was completely appropriate for to push Ukraine to investigate the Bidens, because they did do what they were being accused of doing.
It's so dirty, Margot. It's so dirty. And I remember when he released the transcript for the perfect phone call, I read it myself. And, that you got Zelensky asking for weapons. Trump ended up giving him the weapons. He didn't withhold anything from Ukraine and from Zelensky, but he said, we want your cooperation here, as you would if you're blessing a country with the ability to defend themselves, because lo and behold, as soon as Donald Trump didn't win the election, what did Russia do as soon as Joe Biden, the actual corrupt one in the situation, got elected? It's so dirty, and people like you, Margot Cleveland, are going to keep the story as new news, and we're really grateful for the opportunity to speak with you about it today.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please come back again. We'd love to have you. Bye-bye. Margot Cleveland, senior legal correspondent at The Federalist. The article on The Federalist, and I'll tell you what, this is a detailed article. I was reading it. I had to sit down, and I don't do this very often. I had to turn everything else off because the details, it's just a story, a timeline of events that occurred, what they said and did, but what was really happening that has been now revealed in this evidence that was just revealed here recently with transcripts. 2019 transcript exposes deep state machinations against Trump. On The Federalist, I'm going to, on the break, go tweet it out, post it on X at Annie Frey Show if you want to read it yourself. I'd love to share it with you. All right, let's take a break here. The YouTube poll, should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters that he feels are important? Let us know what you think. We've got Wiggins America coming up in a little bit. Who do Democrats think can win in 2028? I don't know. I wonder if they think Donald Trump's going to win. We'll be right back. Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan. This is a simple phone call or a text message that you can send right now. Jot this down or get your phone out because I'm going to give you the number to get a bagel loan from Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. 314-324-4440. Annie, why do I need a bagel loan? Well, it's a mortgage that comes with no closing costs. So if you're in a position to secure a new mortgage, a refinance, a cash out refinance, and you work with the bagel loan, it's only available at Stewart's American Mortgage, you're going to be able to close that loan and not have to pay all those fees. Thousands of dollars you could keep in your pocket if you use Stewart's American Mortgage. Call or text him at 314-324-4440. I myself have done 2 bagel loan refinances. One was just a refinance and secured a lower rate 6 years ago or something like that. And then I did it again because I used some cash out of my house to put a new deck on the back of my home. The old deck was wobbling back and forth. You don't want a wobbly deck. I didn't. I fixed it, and I did it with Stewie and the bagel loan. Call or text 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226-715.
A new game day favorite is coming to Busch Stadium on Saturday, April 25th, when the Cardinals host the Seattle Mariners. That day, fans take home a Victory Blue Cardinals crewneck sweatshirt presented by Purina, a light and easy style that's perfect for spring and designed to fit right into your everyday wardrobe. Available in medium and extra large while supplies last. A limited look you'll want to wear again and again. Tickets and info at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Jose Fermin. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com.
The weekend starts here. Grab your crew and kick it off at Friday Night Live at Busch Stadium. Every Friday night home game, Budweiser Terrace turns into the hottest happy hour in the Lou with $5 beers, $5 hot dogs, $7 margaritas, live music, and more all game long. Meet up with friends, soak in the energy, and keep the night going with baseball under the lights. Good vibes, great deals, your new Friday tradition. Get tickets now at cardinals.com.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group, as they show you how to create a worry-free retirement. It's Tuesday, April 28th at the Doubletree Hotel in Chesterfield at 6:30. Here are Thomas and Bob with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired
retired and would like to know how to turn your 401k and IRA into a worry-free retirement? Would you like to learn the investment strategy that gives you market growth while avoiding the market losses at the same time?
Would you like to get your free personalized retirement income plan? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free and have a worry-free retirement? If you're 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford to miss this event.
Have a worry-free retirement and join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw. It's at the Doubletree Hotel in Chesterfield, Tuesday, April 28th at 6:30 p.m. Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
Our YouTube live chat poll question for you today is, should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important? There are a variety of answers. They're asking basically, are you Catholic and or are you not? And then yes or no associated with that. A couple answers here from our live stream. This is Carrie. Says, I voted yes, not Catholic, as long as he's speaking out about the politics of all countries. Let us know what you think. And that is the YouTube live chat poll of the day. You can vote on YouTube. It is 12:39. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com. 25 years strong. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. So we have there's a press conference, White House press conference taking place right now, and Scott Bessent is in there, the Treasury Secretary. Of course, it is tax day, so he has addressed the press with some prepared remarks. So let's listen in right now and hear what Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent had to say from the podium.
I'm here to tell you that it has been a fantastic tax season. It has gone smoothly. It has gone efficiently from the point of view of the IRS, but most importantly, it's been a great tax season for the American people. But most importantly, it's been a great tax season for the American people. Thanks to promises made, promises kept, through the Working Families Tax Cuts, the President has delivered the record refunds to the American people. More than 45% of the filers of the returns that we have seen have had at least one of the 4 President's signature policies. No tax and tips, no tax and overtime, the deductions for our great seniors, and the deductibility of interest on auto loans for American-made cars. And I will tell you that one of those that Americans have taken is no tax and overtime. And it's the American way. If you want to work longer hours, you get to keep more of your money. And with that, we are seeing, I want to encourage everyone out there watching today to change their withholding if they haven't already done so. Because if you change your withholding, then you will get an automatic real wage increase on a weekly or a monthly basis, and you will be able to keep more of your money this calendar year. So with that, we have also seen with the Trump accounts, we have had 5 million families file for Trump accounts for their children. 1.2 million of those are eligible for the $1,000 seed bonus. So we look forward to that picking up more and more. For those of you who haven't done it, it's easy to remember, Form 4547. You can do it while you're filing your taxes. You can do it at any point during the year. We think this is going to be Promotional in terms of financial literacy. This is Financial Literacy Month, and at Treasury and all over the administration, we are working with the American people, with American families, not only to give them more of their money, but to show them how to invest it in a safe, smart, and sound way. So with that, I will turn it over to Kelly.
So Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent speaking there and giving a summary of what tax day, April 15th, of course, to quote Speaker Johnson, happy tax day. We're going to add a sarcastic tone to that if we don't play the clip, you'll just have to infer.
Happy tax day.
Happy tax day. Yeah. Did you had an interesting situation with your taxes this year, so you don't want to talk about it.
You wanted me to be depressed for 2 hours?
No. You want an oatmeal cream pie?
Yes.
Okay, I'll get you one.
That'll help.
It always
Take
does.
the edge off.
I filed mine very quickly. It was like maybe the week after they opened. And our tax return was, I heard today that the reported average tax return increase is $350 across the board. But depending on what kind of work you do, if you work a lot of overtime, if you do a tipped job, it's going to affect you a lot more than if you are a salaried worker who doesn't get overtime. So ours was up a little bit, and most of our numbers across the board from year to year were pretty similar. So it wasn't like there was anything really dramatically changing with our income from one year to the next. But be curious to hear people talk today as well on the chat line on the text 314-241-9797 about how tax season went for them.
The number one deduction he said has been taken so far is no tax on overtime.
Yeah.
So people must be enjoying that.
What a sweet gig that would be if you're somebody who's been working overtime because that's usually pretty good pay.
Yeah, and it encourages people to work more overtime.
Or to work.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like you get more work done.
Just to work. Let's take a break. The YouTube poll, should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important? Yes or no? And let us know if you're Catholic. You can text us at 314-241-9797. Wiggins America is next. But at 105, I want to take your phone calls on the Pope. I want to know from you your thoughts on what the Pope has said about President Trump. This isn't a conversation today, this specific poll question, isn't a conversation surrounded about Trump's reaction to it. We talked a lot about that yesterday. And it's not to justify it or dismiss it because we addressed that yesterday. We kind of have that out of the way. Can we talk about the Pope and his commentary on these political matters? Does he have an obligation to do so? He's the Pope, after all. That's what we're asking you. Text us on the Annie Frey Show text line 314-241-9797 and vote in the YouTube live chat poll at youtube.com/@AnnieFrey. You can leave a comment there, too. Back in a minute.
Wiggins. I love that song. Just kidding. I've never heard that song.
I know what I want. I want it now.
Still don't know it.
Because I'm Mr. Vain. You don't know this?
No, I don't know it.
With you?
That sounds like 1990.
I would guess that's about right.
These are a list of not necessarily who Democrats want to be their nominee, but who they think could win among all potential nominees. So the way that I delineated this was I'm going to read a name. You'll have to tell me whether you think that more than half of Democrats think this person is electable. If they're below 50%.
I'm trying to determine if
then it's a no.
50% or more of Democrats think this person is electable.
Correct.
Hit me.
We'll start with Kamala Harris.
Well, we kind of know.
You're a no.
I said we kind of know.
We kind of know. But do Democrats think that she is electable? More than 50% say she's electable in 2028.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
As a character judgment on the Democratic Party.
Okay. Brad, you care to weigh in?
Is she electable? I'm going to say less than 50% of Democrats think so.
Annie is correct, but it is barely over 50%. It is only 55% of Democrats find Harris to be an electable candidate in 2028. How about Gavin Newsom? Do Democrats think he is electable in 2028?
Oh, for sure.
That is correct. 72% actually think he is electable. He is one of the highest on this list, if that says anything. Now let's get to some more fun ones. J.B. Pritzker.
Yes.
I would say no.
He is also a yes.
He's got money.
He is a yes. Yeah, and he's actually at 64%.
Yeah.
He's tied with Andy Beshear, the governor of Kentucky.
Who I think is the sleeper.
Who may be very much a sleeper if he decides to run. Here's a couple more sleepers. Have you heard of Wes Moore, the Maryland governor?
Yes.
What do you think? Is he electable according to Democrats?
I bet it's close to 50%, but not quite.
It's not even close. It's 31% of Democrats think he's electable.
Okay. But a third of Democrats at this point in time is totally take it seriously.
Yeah.
For the Democrats.
Yeah.
I think his problem is name ID.
Correct. And so is Jared Polis, the governor of Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
He's at the same. He's at 32%. How about Gretchen Whitmer? Good name recognition. Is she likable? Is she electable?
Yes.
You're saying yes. You think she's over 50%?
I bet you she's close, if not over.
Look, if the other ones are, then she's electable.
She is well below 50%.
Wow. What's she at?
She's only at 39, which has got to say something about
I don't
her
really
likability.
consider 39% to be well below.
Well, it's
if you said 8%
below.
Well, I know, but if you're 39%, if you're going in before the midterms, before the general election, and 39% of the Democratic Party is already thinking you're electable, that's sitting pretty. I mean, usually these numbers are in like the teens or the 20s.
How about Pete Buttigieg?
No.
Incorrect. He is 61% Democrats think he is electable.
He was just at some sort of Jesse Waters sent his producer to do a Man on the Street interview, and it was an Al Franken, like black Democrat kind of conference of some sort, and Pete Buttigieg was there, and he was one of the only white people who was there.
Oh yeah,
it's like because many people have said Pete Buttigieg has a problem with black Democrat voters.
Mm-hmm. Out of left field, Mark Cuban. Do you think he's even going to run?
No.
I don't either.
No.
Why would he?
No.
Why would he?
What Mark Cuban is going to do is he's going to dabble at all the cocktail parties so people talk about him.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that Democrats find him electable?
Yes.
Yes, they do. 58% say that he is electable. I think he probably is electable as a Democrat.
I would say so. I would say he's in the same camp as Trump.
Right, exactly. And last one on this list that I'm going to read to you, and then I'll switch to Republicans real quick. Raphael Warnock.
No.
No, you're right. Not even close.
Heck no.
34%. Oh, actually, last one. I said that was the last one. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Shoot, I almost said something bad. I'm terrified to say yes.
This is a trick question because it's exactly 50%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
All right, switch over to Republicans. Now, this is Republicans saying whether they think these Republican candidates, not Democrats,
Can
saying
win.
it. Can win.
Not will get the nomination.
Right. Not
Just
whether
can
they like
win?
them or not, but are they electable? Do you think they can win? First one, J.D. Vance.
Yes.
Absolutely. The front runner at 83% say that he is electable. Marco Rubio.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
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 The answer is yes, 76%. I'm surprised he's not a little higher than that, though.
Well, J.D. Vance is the vice president, and he's doing well.
And Ron DeSantis.
Yes.
Absolutely yes, 74%. Now we'll get into some trickier ones.
Great choices.
Yes. Nikki Haley.
No.
She gets a 56.
Okay.
So she is above 50. Kristi Noem.
No. She's shielding America right now. The hemisphere or something.
Kristi Noem gets 20%.
Who are those 1 in 5? It's like the same people who don't like your toothpaste, the dentists.
But she's not the lowest Republican on the list.
Okay.
The lowest Republican, oddly, out of left field, Katie Britt.
Why are they talking about Katie Britt?
I don't know. Maybe she's planning on running.
No.
Katie Britt gets just 18%.
If I were Katie Britt and I got, again, 18% to me is a lot. 18% of these Republicans believe that Katie Britt could win the presidency.
She's electable, yes.
I mean, what percentage of the people polled would have to say Ryan Wiggins can win the presidency for you to be like, sweet?
Oh, 4? Maybe
4?
Less. Maybe less. Like if I got 1%.
How about like a vote?
Well, that would just be me and Katie voting for me.
Katie who?
My wife, not
You
Katie
think
Britt.
You think Mrs. Wiggins would vote and say you could win the presidency?
If I bribed her.
Okay.
I'll take you to dinner if
You're
you
gonna
vote for me.
raise her
allowance? I would do that. A couple of real tricky ones really quick. What about RFK Jr.?
Yes.
Yes, 62%. And Donald Trump Jr.?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
65%. There you go. There's your front runners.
It's a
for
Rubio.
Both parties.
It's a Rubio for me, but I would happily vote for almost everybody who was just almost. I'm one of those 4 out of 5. It's no on Kristi Noem. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Hey, Dad, isn't it good to see ya?
Yep, but with smoke alarms, we need to hear them. If one alarm is downstairs, you might not hear it upstairs.
At school, everyone hears the fire alarm.
That's why we install hardwired smoke alarms that all go off together, just like school.
Smoke alarms done the right way.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings, up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% problems or legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
According to MasterCard, nearly half of small businesses have been a victim of a cyber attack. As cybercrime escalates, ThrottleNet is calling on businesses to strengthen their security posture by taking a free online IT security audit right from your desk. This 3-minute online assessment provides an immediate score to see security gaps and vulnerabilities in your network. For 26 years, ThrottleNet has supported your business IT everything right here in St. Louis. In fact, no client of ThrottleNet has ever paid a ransom. So visit throttlenet.com/971 to take the free assessment today.
Are you tired of feeling sick and tired?
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes of Health From Within Family Chiropractic. Our simple 5-step approach aligns your health naturally. We correct spinal abnormalities to maximize nerve supply, focus on pure and simple nutrition, exercise and oxygen, mindset, and minimizing toxins in your body. Transform your health today with Health From Within, conveniently located on Manchester in Rock Hill or online at healthfromwithinstl.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
The U.S. remains engaged. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, though the White House also says there's nothing official yet on more talks with Iran. Spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt says they feel good about the prospects of a deal.
And it's obviously in the best interest of Iran to meet the president's demands. I think he's made his red lines in these negotiations very clear to the other side, and so we are continuing to see how these conversations go.
Leavitt also denies reports the U.S. requested an extension of the current ceasefire, which expires next week. It's day 3 of a U.S. blockade on Iranian ports.
Central Command now says that in the last 48 hours, 9 ships which have left Iranian ports, then passed through the strait, have been intercepted in the Gulf of Oman and forced to head back. There is new talk that a second round of negotiations between the U.S. and Iran could be happening in the next few days, with Iran's nukes a key issue.
Fox's Greg Palcott. On this tax deadline day for many Americans,
I'm here to tell you that it has been a fantastic tax season.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent at the White House, which says more than 53 million filers have claimed at least one of the new Trump tax breaks. And SBA Administrator Kelly Loeffler says so far 12 million small businesses have an average tax savings of $7,000.
America is open for business again, yet every Democrat voted no on the very tax relief that is restoring Main Street.
House Democratic Caucus Chair Pete Aguilar says bigger tax refunds can't make up for other rising costs, as his party also continues to push for immigration enforcement changes.
Republicans have walked away from first an opportunity to provide real relief and reform to these agencies that have wrongfully detained U.S. citizens and killed U.S. citizens.
Senate Republicans are working to pass funding without Democrat support as a Homeland Security shutdown over ICE continues. America is listening to Fox News.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaid spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Windy and warm with a mix of clouds and sunshine going through our Wednesday afternoon. We'll keep an eye out for a couple of scattered showers. 82 for the high. We just simply kind of watch the sky. Be ready to react, but it's not going to be raining all the time. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms, 64. Thursday, partly sunny. A couple of scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms around 82. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get your AC ready for summer while helping shelter pets. Book your AC clean and check in April, and Air Comfort Service will donate a bag of pet food to Open Door Animal Sanctuary. aircomfortservice.com/petfood.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For the sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back. We're going to open up the phone lines right now, and Ethan, who is a professional call screener, is going to look for some good phone calls from you on the poll question today. Should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important? We want to know from you what you feel about the Pope commenting on the war or whatever issues might be out there. So you can vote in the YouTube poll, youtube.com/@AnnieFrey, but you want to give us a call and weigh in on the air? I'd love to have a chat with you. 314-241-9797. That's also the text line for the Annie Frey Show that Ryan monitors. 314-241-9797. JD Vance was talking about what the Pope said, and he's Catholic, right? And he just recently on Easter had his 6-year-old son baptized, which is an exciting thing to hear. And he was at this event that was a TPUSA event. It's the one that Erica Kirk was supposed to be at and had to cancel her appearance. And she sent out a message that said that she was getting threats and she couldn't ensure her safety. She trusts her security team's advice that she shouldn't show up there. So Andrew Colvett ended up interviewing JD Vance at this event. But the issue did come up about what the Pope is saying and how they're weighing in, and this is what J.D. Vance had to say.
The most obvious example is, it has frustrated me that some of the Catholic clergy have attacked mercilessly the Trump administration on immigration. It is a constant idea that somehow everything that the Trump administration does when it comes to securing our borders is inhumane. And my constant response to that is, how is it humane to allow drug traffickers and sex traffickers to bring little kids across the southern border? Amen. How is that humane?
So there you have J.D. Vance talking about that particular issue, and I think that he's absolutely correct in saying that the facts of the criticism from the Pope. Can you pull up the Pope statement for me here real quick, Ryan, so that we can read it and get when we take these phone calls, 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797, if you want to call us, that we can read the words that the Pope said specifically, because I think that is going to matter in this instance. Steve Holman, at the beginning of the show, explained that he's like, I'm not speaking for the president, but I am speaking as a lifelong Catholic, and it's not a victimless crime. Illegal immigration is not a victimless crime. You know, this is one issue that we've seen the Pope comment on in the past, and then now we see that the Pope is commenting on the war and you know, talking about just wars, and there was the comment that the Pope made about hearing the prayers of those who start wars. It's just it's something that when the Pope weighs in, a lot of people, the whole world, listens. The one thing that I would encourage people to be very cautious about is listening to the reaction of people who are now listening to and using the Pope's words for their political advantage, but they probably wouldn't listen to the Pope's words about scriptural advice and biblical guidance because they're not Catholic. Something kind of fell out of the sky that subsidizes their predetermined opinion on a matter, and they're like, oh, but the Pope, this is a good one. I'll take that. I mean, you either got a Pope or not Pope. Quote me. Let's get to some of these phone calls here. You can call us or text us on the Annie Frey Show text line, 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. We'll start with David. David, thanks for calling the Annie Frey Show. I appreciate you reaching out to us. What are your thoughts on what the Pope had to say about Trump? Should he continue to weigh in?
I was educated by Franciscan nuns and the Jesuits. We had 4 priests in my extended family, one of whom lived in the Vatican, used to have dinner on Thursday nights with Pope John Paul II. Pope John Paul II was a man of peace, well respected, and he fought communism. The problem with Leo is he grew up in socialist countries and he doesn't understand freedom and democracy.
So you have experience certainly with the Catholic Church. Do you want him to talk about some issues, just not this one? Or do you think that if it's an American political issue, the Pope doesn't need to be speaking on it?
I think that if the question you asked was worded differently, politics is bad. The Pope should weigh in on world events on the side of good versus evil. which is kind of what the Bible is about, and being Christian and being Catholic is about. Unfortunately, Leo has a strange impression of his role, which should be fighting evil.
Where did he grow up?
Well, he grew up in Chicago, but he spent a long time doing charitable work in socialist countries. The Jesuits are required to spend at least 1 year doing charity work. And the Jesuits who educated me would go to countries like Belize and Honduras, various other countries. They'd do their work and they would understand working poor people and they would help them get better in their own countries. Now, Leo spent so much time in those countries. He grew up spending Catholic Charities money. And by the way, Peter's Pence, which is the Pope's charity, it's funded 25% by the United States.
David, thank you for the phone call. Also, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Let's get to Tom. Tom, thanks for calling the Annie Frey Show. Should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important?
Yes, I believe he does, because it's his opinion and it's his job to help his flock. I'm Catholic myself. And when I was a little boy, we had John Paul, and he got shot at for his opinion, being so conservative. But being liberal apparently is A-okay. And the Catholic Church is losing parishioners at an alarming rate because of the weird things that the priest should do. In my biased opinion, I think one of the things that the Catholic Church should do is allow priests to marry. This would be much like the Lutheran faith, and it would help a lot of problems, I believe.
Yeah. Tom, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. I've heard people say that. I'm not a Catholic, so I'm not going to weigh in on that. I do believe that pastors are good to get married. Lutheran pastors get married and have hordes of children. So
the Lutheran pastors I know all would support that statement.
Yeah, just have as many babies as you can.
Yeah, they do. Ones I know do.
And I don't think you can open up a phone line on a radio show to talk about the Catholic faith without going down a particular road. I understand that. I'm not here to push that away. I tread incredibly lightly on talking about the Pope on this show out of respect for the Catholics that listen to this show and your respect for the Pope. I don't have that same reverence for the position of the Pope as Catholics do, but I know that many of you do. So I'm not here to disrespect that. I want to go back to David's call, though. And he said that I think it was David. Wasn't it David that said something about like the Pope should weigh in on issues of good and evil, or was that Tom's call right now?
I think David said that.
But he referred to the wording of my question. Should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important? The question is, am I labeling it a political matter, but the Pope is talking about it in a way that is a matter of good and evil in the way he's presenting it? He's talking about issues of good and evil, and I am associating it with the politics around it. And then, of course, there's no way for us to know the intention of the Pope, but is the Pope weighing in to sway the politics or the spirit, the heart of the matter?
I think this question is very interesting. We don't talk about this subject a whole lot, but of course it's very newsworthy right now, because what we're asking and getting responses from people on the phone and all these texts and comments on our live chat is asking, if you are Catholic, and I'm very concerned isn't the right word, curious about this. Does what the Pope says influence your opinions on politics at all, even if just a little bit? I'm really curious about that, because if it is a little bit because you revere him, I would like to know that, just because.
Let's get to Christina's phone call. Christina, thanks for calling the Annie Frey Show. Should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important?
I think it is not only the Pope should weigh in on those matters, but it's not just the Pope. I think any and all Christian leaders should weigh in on political matters, because Satan does not stay out of our politics. He has a very
the understatement of the century, Christina. Well put. Well put.
So therefore, I don't just think he should, but I think it is his duty as a leader of a Christian church.
Christina, are you Catholic yourself?
I am not.
So
I am Christian.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting to hear you say that about the Pope, who isn't necessarily, the earthly leader of your church, but you're still interested in that position speaking on these issues because of the influence that such a spiritual leader might have.
Absolutely. I mean, there are definitely differences between the Catholic faith and the Christian faith that I practice, being non-denominational. But at the end of the day, we all believe that Jesus Christ is our Savior. He died on the cross for us, and he rose from the dead. So as a church leader of any Christian denomination, I do believe that they have a duty to weigh in on our current political situation that we have going on in this country, because Satan, he is loud and proud.
On the prowl. He is on the prowl. Christina, thank you for the phone call. Thanks for listening.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Let's get to Steve. Steve, thanks for calling the Annie Frey Show. Should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important?
Hi, Annie. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
I like what Christina had to say. She came across really well. I do believe Christian leaders should speak out, but I think the Pope needs a lot of cleanup in his own backyard before he starts trying to clean up ours. He's got a lot of problems. I've never heard him talk about Nigeria and the 100,000 people that have been Christians that have been massacred there, 10,000 churches burned, and right in Iran, they're murdering people. What about those people? We're trying to set them free, I think. So that's my thoughts.
Well, I appreciate your phone call, Steve. Thank you. I mean, when you talk about, to Steve's point, when he talks about clean up his own backyard before, it's the Pope. Oh, man, I see this. I see this so much in churches. The leader of the church, because there's always a business element to a church operation. You've got bills to pay. You probably, may have a mortgage. You've got an electric bill, staff, maybe a very small staff, maybe a very large staff. You've got to pay for upkeep, pay for maintenance, that type of thing. And when you have to do that, you have to pay for it with something. Well, that money comes from the people who put money in the offering plate, maybe some bequests or something like that. But there's money involved. There's decision-making that's involved, which means that humans have to come together and make a decision, much like a government, on other people's money, on how to maintain something. And what of those elements does the governmental structure of the church have to take care of and manage? What don't they have to manage? What should the people of the church vote on? That type of stuff. When there's conflict in the church, how often have you witnessed the clergy of the church take the political route and not the biblical scripture route? Over and over and over again, where there is a biblical, we're talking, the Pope is talking about good and evil as far as stopping nuclear war or starting war and killing leaders that want to nuke other people, and understanding that in the midst of all of this, there's some fact-based evidence that you need to consider, and some people accept it as fact, other people don't. You can listen to what Iran has to say. They very rarely have the same set of facts that the United States does or that other people do. When you're talking about good and evil at that large of a magnitude, that's just, it's breathtakingly too big for my brain to conceptualize. But you can bring it. It doesn't have to be the Pope, who's the most notable Christian figure on the face of the planet, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Him and Joel Osteen. Just kidding.
I said no doubt, and then you said that.
All the Annie Frey Show listeners that are Christian just drove off the road. If you were driving down the highway and someone just all 70, you're like, you're listening to the Annie Frey Show too. I'm just kidding, folks.
Well, you said notable, which he is definitely notable.
Yeah, but he's not a Christian.
Well,
don't get me started on this. I don't have time. I got to get to a break.
States,
I'm
notable.
In the middle of making a point here that is going to bring this to a place where even I can understand it, which is to say you want to have religious leaders weighing in on issues of good and evil, and our question is the biggest world Christian leader weighing in on something because it's good and evil, or because it's politically advantageous or disadvantageous for another party? We don't know. You would like to think that it's the good and evil. We could put the best construction on that for the sake of conversation. That's fine. But I want you to think about if you've been a member of a church, and I want you to think about a time where conflict arose. You had people within the church who thought one thing and the other. There was a set of facts over here and there was a set of facts over there. They weren't the same set of facts. The church survives when the biblical leaders, those whose job it is to represent what Scripture says and bring the hard truths to the situation, bring the law and the gospel to the situation to rectify it, to get on the other side. Those churches survive when they're willing to do the hard thing because it's the right thing. And the churches fall when they get into the politics of it and they try to micromanage, try to have small little conversations around when the church, when the Bible leaders, when the people there to represent Scripture set aside their responsibility to bring the hard, cold truth to the situation. And they decide to try to win the political day. They lose the biblical heart of the matter, and it fails every time. I say this about experiences I've had conversations with people, experiences myself, because I think everybody who, a reminder, folks, I don't know if this is new information for you. It's certainly not for me, but churches are comprised of 100% sinners. People want to talk about the church being sinful. We're all sinful. You don't go to church to escape sin. You come to church to come face to face with your sin and know that you don't have to hold on to it anymore because it's been atoned for. So often, the earthly elements of church bodies, they try to win the politics and they lose the Scripture, the very unique thing that people come to church for. If the church leaders, if the people who are supposed to bring the Bible to the situation are too cowardly to do that, then the church goes into a slump. People leave, and then they have to rebuild. And it seems to me like they generally do rebuild, but that's what ends up happening. And I always say, like, Christians sit around, and they know what the right thing to do is, and they all sit around and they're like, gosh, I hope somebody steps up and does the right thing. And then nobody does because there's a cowardice to it, but also a fear of hurting someone's feelings. I think that there is an altruistic intention that manifests itself poorly because it doesn't bring the hard, cold truth of the matter, the Scripture to the matter. And then the bad thing happens, and then everybody who's left in the situation sits around and says, well, that's a shame. I'm so sad that happened to fill in the blank people. The Pope has to be the one who's coming in fast and furious with the Scripture. So my answer to the question, should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important, just like Christina and some of our other listeners said, is yes, and I'm not Catholic. My criticism of the Pope is which issues that you're not out there, yes, thumping the Bible with every single day so that all these people who are not Catholic, who are not Christian, who are not part of the church, who are now going, but the Pope. Can we talk about babies? Can we talk about abortion? Can we talk about, the sexual impropriety that exists top to bottom? And yes, I'm talking about 6 commandment issues here. If you're the Pope, bring the heat with the gospel. It comes law, then it's gospel. Bring that if you're the Pope. And if you're talking about all these issues and you're talking about whether or not you believe that this is a justified war, I'm going to be a little less talky about it, but I don't see it. This is a very political opinion that the Pope is putting out there, and I don't see it. It's not in the context of all of the things, the biblical truths that this world so desperately needs. That's where I want to see the Pope stand up, and so I'd be a hypocrite if I said, no, we shouldn't be talking about it because I don't like what he's talking about right now. Yes, talk about it. Yes, Christina, call her Christina. I agree with you. Talk about all of it, though. Bring it all. So that everybody has to confront those issues and question whether or not the Pope is biblically sound in what he's bringing to the conversation, like we are with this issue right here. Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll. You can text us as well at 314-241-9797. We're going to speak with Harris Faulkner in 6 minutes on the Annie Frey Show. Don't go away. Home Shield, foundationrepairs.com. Guys, it's raining outside. If you have a leaky basement, you need to talk to Matt Hayes with Home Shield Foundation Repair. Matt Hayes will come and inspect your basement, your water issue. He'll be able to see things maybe that you haven't noticed yet and offer you a solution that's got a lifetime warranty on it. So, like, we're talking a final solution to that wet basement that you're experiencing right now. Get your livable space back. Get your peace of mind. When the forecast calls for rain, storms, those gully washer rains that come in and you're like, oh gosh, no, not again. You need to call somebody who you can trust. And I'm telling you right now that you can trust Home Shield Foundation Repair. The number to reach Matt Hayes, 314-271-9900. 314-271-9900. Matt Hayes is waiting for your phone call. Tell him the Annie Frey Show sent you. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group, as they show you how to create a worry-free retirement. It's Tuesday, April 28th at the Doubletree Hotel in Chesterfield at 6:30. Here are Thomas and Bob with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and would like to know how to turn your 401k and IRA into a worry-free retirement? Would you like to learn the investment strategy that gives you market growth while avoiding the market losses at the same time?
Would you like to get your free personalized retirement income plan? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free and have a worry-free retirement? If you're 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford to miss this event.
Have a worry-free retirement and join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw. It's at the Doubletree Hotel in Chesterfield, Tuesday, April 28th at 6:30 p.m. Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Radner, and I am so excited to tell you about How We Made Your Mother, a rewatch podcast looking back at How I Met Your Mother. And I'm here with Craig Thomas, who co-created the show along with Carter Bays. Hi, Craig.
Hey, Josh. Somehow it has been 20 years since the show premiered. I'm going to check the math on that. 10 years since it went off the air, and we thought that made this a perfect time to look back, see what the hell we did, and why the show still seems to resonate with fans around the world today.
Follow and listen to How We Made Your Mother wherever you get your podcasts.
License number GL250000615.
We've seen all kinds of clogs, so remember the rule. Only flush 3 things. Number 1, number 2, and toilet paper.
What about my dinosaurs?
Nope.
My monster truck?
Nope.
What about...
If it's not the big 3, don't flush it.
But if someone does flush a dinosaur...
Call Grasser. We clear the clog and get things moving again.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Mark Cox here. I want you to call my heroes at Zero Res and beat the spring cleaning rush. That way you step into a fresher, cleaner home this spring. This week, you get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129. You can call them at 314-474-2020. This is a great time to get cleaner carpets, fresher floors, and improve the air quality in your house. Go online at ZeroResSTL.com. Make sure to ask for the 97.1 special.
Still leading 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Take this pink ribbon off my eyes. I'm exposed, and it's no big surprise. Don't you think I know exactly where I stand? This world is forcing me to hold your hand.
Great economy. Remember, if I didn't want to make that little journey to Iran, it was a journey. I said, we're going to have to do this for the good of the world.
So you still expect growth in the economy this year? No
I do.
recession.
I mean, I do. Look, we had a couple of months where I had to go to a war. I had to go and fight either a military operation. Some people would call it a war. Some people call it a military operation. It was easy because we have the greatest military in the world. But I had to divert, because if I didn't do that, right now you would have Iran with a nuclear weapon. And if they had a nuclear weapon, you would be calling everybody over there, sir. And you don't want to do that.
Well, you keep saying was. Is this war over?
I think it's close to over, yeah. I mean, I view it as very close to over. You know what? If I pulled up stakes right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild that country. And we're not finished. We'll see what happens. I think they want to make a deal very badly.
Maria Bartiromo on Fox Business interviewing President Trump. That aired this morning. And President Trump continues to stick with that idea that this war is going to wrap up and soon. Let's get to our next guest. Excited to have Harris Faulkner back with us, author of #1 New York Times bestseller, Faith Still Moves Mountains. And you know her, of course, as the anchor and host of the Faulkner Focus and Outnumbered on Fox News. Harris, thank you for being with us today. It's always great to have you with us.
Annie, great to be with you. Thank you for inviting me on. Look, today is another huge news day. We don't have any right now that are not. I'm looking at the markets right now. What we've been watching is the price of gasoline perhaps being touched by, at some point, these, oil barrel prices, which are in the 90s, low 90s we started today. I mean, the blockade is working. I had a colonel on this morning, and I said, have you ever seen anything like this? And this guy's seen a lot of time on the battlefield. He said never. He went all the way back to the Barbary Coast Wars. I'm like, what are you even doing? And he said, well, maybe the Civil War, we did some blockades that were big, but nothing ever like this. We are controlling them militarily without a single bullet fired. He said, Harris, this is peace through strength.
Yeah, and President Trump seems to have... First of all, I think he has a very good long-term plan, but he seems nimble within his plan. He's waiting to see what they do, and he doesn't seem to be making quick, rash decisions. He knows what the end goal is, and he's willing to do what he needs to do to get there.
You know what's interesting about what you're saying right now? He took a lot of criticism early on in this war. I say early on. It's now we're day 3 of a ceasefire, so the war is abated for a moment. But what critics are saying is, oh, you didn't know that they were going to have a lot of drones? No, we actually didn't. But it didn't turn out to be a problem in the long run. What, they shot down a plane and they've got an American behind enemy lines? No, actually they don't. Because we put 1,000 people down in enemy territory and everybody got off the ground and we got our guy out alive. Thank the good Lord. Got 2 of them, 1 on a mountain.
Yeah, that story is an incredible story, and watching it unfold over Easter weekend, no less, it really does restore for me a sense of newfound pride. I've always had pride in our military and our capabilities, but as a civilian, we're here in St. Louis. We're Boeing people here, so we have incredible air shows and lots of people in this area listening right now who are part of making some of the most incredible machines that the world has ever seen. But then all of a sudden, you get to, like, as a civilian, you get to see some of this stuff, and you're like, well, that's pretty incredible, and you feel a little more strengthened. And it does seem as though the world has kind of pivoted to President Trump and the United States and given us a level of respect that maybe didn't seem to be there as much during prior administrations.
Well, I hope some of them live in Europe.
Yeah.
Because those friendships and the dynamic nature of our relationship with Great Britain in particular is changing. And it's changing by the hour because we don't need them. They need us. And of course, we want to be part of other countries around the world and good partners. And I don't honestly think we're going to leave NATO based on the steps that are being taken now. I have to say, though, it was dicey for a little while there. And if we are going to choose and uphold peace as a nation, as the United States, we're going to need a little bit of respect from the guys who want to say things like, well, we don't know if we want you to use our airspace. Really? I mean, we have a special relationship and you don't want to be special? And then now you need all the oil that flows through the Strait of Hormuz. And if we don't commandeer that and push Iran back, you're not willing to go in there because really and truly you can't hold it by yourself. So a lot of that. But I do want to mention this one part about the blockade. So you want to know why Iran is willing to. Now, we haven't heard a peep out of them other than we want to talk.
Right.
You know why? $435 million a day is what it's costing Iran, this U.S. blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. We're not blocking everything. We're blocking everything that they do, all of their Iranian ports. And anybody else. And by the way, today we started blocking in the Gulf of Oman because Iran thought they could get cute. So no, you're not doing it there either. You're not going around. You're not going south. You're not doing anything. And we're going to search everything. And then during the Faulkner focus, we found out that the Pakistani military chief has already arrived in Tehran. He's ready to work with mediators to seek that second round of talks between the U.S. and Iran. This is in motion now. This is moving on. So maybe or maybe not the president saw or didn't see what Iran was going to try to do with the Strait of Hormuz. It has not mattered. They wanted to do a blockade. We flipped the switch. Look, it's time for them to talk nuclear. It's time for them to talk uranium, and that's where they are at the table now. We finally got to the point why we really went to war. It wasn't even over all this. Hormuz became a thing because of Iran, but the uranium has always been our thing, and that's what we're watching next. And J.D. Vance, our vice president, has said, the president said, no deal unless those guys can promise us no nukes.
Harris Faulkner speaking with us, anchor and host of the Faulkner Focus and Outnumbered on Fox News. I think it was on the Faulkner Focus this morning. You'll be able to tell me. You were speaking with one of your guests was talking about, like, what's the breakdown here between when you look at Britain or maybe some of these European countries, and they said there's a huge difference between what those in the military. There's a lot of compliments thrown towards our allies in Europe and the military and the strength that they have. The difference between military capability and will and politicians, and we certainly know that here in the United States as well.
Yes, that was Lieutenant Colonel Darren Gobb.
Yeah, thank you.
I asked him because I know he's been on the ground, in concert in different wars with troops from NATO. And I said, so what are those relationships like? And he said, they respect our military more so now than ever before. He said, this has nothing to do with who I serve side by side with. He said the politicians in these European countries, particularly Italy even, I was surprised with Meloni even this week, they aren't quite sure who to listen to on the ground.
Yeah.
They've got their own political. Do they really want to be with the United States? Well, we're winning, so I don't know how hard of a decision that is. But we're also holding Iran's feet to the fire on something that we have seen now. They will unleash hate and bullets and drones and missiles at anybody they can reach. And over time, with a nuke, they're going to be able to reach everybody.
Yeah.
So don't you want to deal with that now that their economy is completely broken going into the war, and whatever else was left We have decimated them by cutting off their oil exports. They can't sell anything because they can't get it out of there. So what he was saying, Lieutenant Colonel Dobb was like, we're good with the military. If we have to go do something and their politicians change and become, on board, they're ready to go fight side by side. They respect us. They know what we can do, and they know that our hearts are in it and that this is our mission together because we are NATO partners.
Yeah.
I don't know if the politicians will change, but if their economies change because of what's happening in the energy space after this, because it's going to change. We just put in online one of the biggest pipelines on the planet coming to the East Coast. They're going to take continuing infrastructure and build it up, just like they did 3 Mile Island a few months ago with nuclear. They're building it up.
All of these different things that this president has done. I know people call it 4D chess and everything, but he's got so many irons in the fire right now. But they are all connected. And you're a mother, and I'm a mother, and I just think about generationally. Harris, I was a senior in high school on September 11th, 2001. My classmates signed up for the military after the towers were hit. And that war seems like it, to some extent, an Iran-funded terrorist world is now being ended so that our children and maybe our grandchildren don't have to fight the same war that has been happening since then. The president took great risk with good policy, risk to the politics of it for the time being. I'm just looking forward to seeing how it all shakes out in the end, of course.
You bring up an excellent point. You know who we haven't heard from recently?
Who's that?
The Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas. I'm not saying that they're not like scorpions in some nest trying to make a comeback, but Iran can't flow that money to them to get them to do anything right now because part of this deal is Hezbollah and Lebanon. And even Israel said, we've done what we need to do. We can sit down now. And so all those missiles that were coming from Hezbollah have stopped because the Lebanese government finally did what no one else could incentivize them to do. Put your terrorists down. You own that army. Make them stop. And the money that's flowing to you from Iran ain't going to flow anymore right now because they can't sell their oil. So if you're not getting paid to kill the Israelis, maybe you could sit down. I'm telling you, this has worked. It's always messy. And from the critics from the beginning, they were rooting against their own country here.
Yes.
Many of them. That didn't stop Trump. Trump doesn't care.
He doesn't
He's the
care.
honey badger of politics.
That's so true. And so how blessed we are to have him in this moment in time, to have the will to do the right thing, even though it's the hard thing. Yes. Harris Faulkner, you're always a treasure to have on the show. Thank you for being with us again today.
Thank you. God bless you. Anytime. Take care, Annie.
God bless you as well. Bye-bye. Harris Faulkner, the anchor and host of the Faulkner Focus. That conversation I was calling back to this morning was on her show. She always has wonderful guests, and I always encourage you to watch it. I certainly do, basically every day. Outnumbered on Fox as well. It's a good show that is on right before mine. On X at Harris Faulkner. Let's take a break. The YouTube poll for today. Have you voted yet? Should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important? Yes or no? And let us know if you're Catholic when you vote. That's the youtube.com/@AnnieFrey YouTube live chat poll. Flood us with your texts as well. 314-241-9797. We'll be right back. The Retirement Advisory Group. We're having another event. It's a little bit of a party, and I'm inviting you to come hang out with me from 6 to 6:30 at the Doubletree Chesterfield. It starts at 6:30 p.m. That's the event you're really coming for. I just would like to hang out with you for a little bit beforehand. But that Protecting Your Retirement educational event brought to you by the Retirement Advisory Group, Thomas Helbig, Bob and Tammy Kershaw alike. They're going to answer your questions about, am I ready to retire? You think you are. You hope you are. You're praying you are. You need the answers, the affirmation that that you got the facts of the matter so that you can know that you're going to go take that trip, be able to travel, be able to buy the country home that you've always wanted on the lake so you can fish all day in your retirement. Whatever your dream is, you want to know if it can be a reality, and the Retirement Advisory Group can get you to that reality. Reserve your spot at 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. Learn everything you know online at retirementkey.com.
97.1 FM Talk, proud to partner with Missouri Right to Life.
This is Steve Rupp, president of Missouri Right to Life. Join us at our Make Missouri Pro-Life Again banquet with keynote Riley Gaines on May 20th in St. Charles. Go to the Missouri Right to Life website for details.
Social Security is with you through life's journey from birth to retirement. As your life changes year to year, so do your needs. For over 80 years, Social Security has helped to meet your needs and is committed to improving access to the services that make a difference in your life. Today, you can verify your earnings, estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, manage your benefits, and even change your address, all from the comfort of your home. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Men. Need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
I'm going to read a couple comments to you from our text line, which is 314-241-9797. The first one says, I'm Catholic and I have zero problem with publicly praying for peace. Right afterwards, it says, I have a problem when the Pope or any religious figure starts commenting on any country's political issues. Well, those are comments about our very YouTube live chat poll question, which is no longer visible to me because Annie Frey is behind me, pushing me, putting papers in my face, turning my microphone on and off. It's unprofessional is what it is, and I think she wants me to be fired. I think she wants me out of the studio.
Now you know how I feel.
The YouTube live chat poll is, should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important? I don't have a microphone. She is making this really hard. It is 1:46. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
What are you doing? Grow up, man.
Why don't you do a segment while I just ring this bell the whole time and just see how you can get through it?
I cannot stress enough how much, if you rang that bell through the entire segment, that's basically my life when I go home and I'm around my kids.
Oh, I understand.
It's like you're just trying to get stuff done, and in the background, you just have that, oops, there goes the bell. It's just a little repetitive
oh, my gosh. Yesterday I went home.
Sound.
And I had this huge contract for a house that we're trying to get done and all this stuff. And my son's like, let me show you the sonic blasters I added to my Lego guy.
And all they want. That's all they want in life right now.
And
is
he
your
was
attention.
so interested and so proud of it that I had to put everything just look at Lego guy.
Because otherwise you're facing your son and Lego guy and you're side-eyeing the papers.
I try not to.
You gotta remove yourself.
But
and you gotta tell yourself the whole
10
time.
minutes.
Yeah, you gotta tell yourself the whole time. This means a lot to the child that I created.
Yes. And I was very proud of him.
Yeah.
But it was not that interesting.
Not to you.
No.
Not to you. I want to ask you this question, the YouTube poll question. I want you to answer it, Ryan. Should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important? Yes or no? And we've already established you're not a Catholic.
My answer is yes, and I'm not a Catholic. I do believe that he should continue to weigh in on not just political matters, but really anything. I mean, the Bible, Christianity, Jesus, is your worldview when you are a Christian. And so you will apply that to everything in the world. And so he should be commenting. Now, I don't agree with his comments, but I am okay with him addressing things, and then we debate it. Honestly, I think that the debate we've been having on this show because of his comments and because of Trump is healthy. Therefore, I'm a yes on this.
How do you feel about the people who are stepping into the conversation right now and saying, like, if they're non-Christians look at the Pope as a Jesus figure, and non-Christians who don't really understand the structure of the Catholic Church and its lack of influence on the structure of all non-Catholic Christian churches, when people cite the Pope because the Pope said something as gospel, as scripture to Christians, and you dismiss it, they think that you are a hypocrite. And I feel as though that I can't stress enough how I'm not here to disrespect Catholics and the Catholic Church structure on this show. Like, if I were having a podcast and I were talking about theology and my Lutheran faith and the differences there, we could get into that conversation, but I would assume that the people coming to listen to that podcast would be there for that. And I know that you're not here necessarily for that. You might be here for Swalwell jokes. I don't know. And then I'm like criticizing the Pope, and you're like, hey, Annie, what's going on?
What's going on with Swalwell?
Nothing anymore.
Yeah,
He's got a lot of time on his hands.
Old news now.
I do not hold the Pope's opinion in any higher regard than I would hold my own pastor's. Mm-hmm. And can my pastor be wrong about things? Yes. Can the Pope be wrong about things? Yes. There are a lot of theological elements to the Pope and the authority that he wields within the Catholic Christian Church that are just not a part of other Christians who are not Catholics' understanding of that. I can't understand how a Pope, though, wouldn't be more aggressive on a lot of these other issues where culture just intentionally, I mean, it's the point of culture essentially to run up and conflict with as much as you possibly can the scripture and the elements that make it up.
So we had a caller a couple segments ago that said, I wish the Pope would condemn the attacks in Nigeria, for instance. I did look that up. He has. So it's good. You know,
I was grokking that, and I don't think I haven't hit send yet on it. Good for you.
Yeah, he, about 2 months ago, condemned the deadly attacks in Nigeria. Now, if he hadn't, that would be a dereliction of duty. Mm-hmm. That is such a basic thing to condemn as the leader of the Catholic Church or a Christian church at all. You have to be against the slaughter of hundreds of thousands of Christians in Nigeria. But the reason I bring it up is because he has addressed it. And my hope is that what's happening is he's addressing things pretty often. And maybe he's constantly taking a pacifist pose on everything, but at least it's consistent. I disagree with some of the recent comments. You asked me a bit ago to pull up what the recent comment was. This was from March 30th, and this is what kind of kicked it all off. He said, quote, God does not listen to the prayer of those who wage war. Or at least that's what a reporter was quoting him saying. So that's what kicked it all off, and it was about 14, 15 days ago, and then we've been talking about it ever since. That comment seems consistent with what the Pope typically says, though. I don't agree with it, but it is consistent.
And to me, if that's the full statement, I'm just kind of thinking that maybe he was talking about the Iranians.
Well, I
don't think that he was talking about it.
I think there was more to this.
But I think that the application of talking about those who wage war, Iran is the lead state sponsor of terror.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the religious zealotry that was in command in Iran is the opposition to Christianity. It is a faith-based, non-one true God believing religion that seeks death to infidels and utilizes the power structure that exists in the government in order to affect that outcome. Seems like something the Pope would be against, but I'm not Catholic.
But I do really like when the conversation shifts to these topics, because ultimately, I mean, this is his job. Like, he's supposed to be commenting on these kinds of things. But ultimately, we all get to then ask, well, what is the definition of right and wrong? Which ultimately informs everything.
I'm really interested. I talk to you guys about this off air more than I talk about it on air. But I'm really interested in the understanding and the acknowledgement of good and evil.
Yeah.
Because, this is kind of a more grown-up way of looking at my faith. I've been raised in the church. I'm very grateful for that. But when you're raised in it, you don't know something different. You don't come to it from a, kind of tragic and raw understanding of what not being in the church is like. And many of you out there know exactly what I'm talking about because you've come into the church as an adult. Or maybe you're somebody who was a part of the church and has gone away from it, and you're not ready to jump headfirst, dive back into what the church has to offer. But you do know that you haven't found something that fulfills what the church did fulfill for you at some time. You haven't quite found that thing yet. That's the Holy Spirit. I digress. I don't believe. Let me rephrase. I do believe that the grace of God, in the God that I believe in, the God of the Bible, I believe that we sanitize it and minimize it with the repetition of the Bible stories and everything that you can learn, that it can be very simple to compartmentalize what that grace actually is into something that's kind of super palatable. You've always got it. You always understand it. If you've never been in the depths of despair, you don't know what you're being saved from, not fully. And when you see the depths of despair in the news headlines, in the stories about children being shot up in schools, that's the thing that really did it for me, is Sandy Hook, is understanding the level of evil that is prowling on the face of this planet. Is that out of the reach of God's grace? And the truth of the matter is there is no one who is out of that reach. And when you start to understand the magnitude of how significant and sizable that the evil that actually exists is, then you can truly understand how widespread and far-reached the outstretched hands of your Lord and Savior actually are. That's when, for me, I start going, wow, this is really incredibly, incredibly cool. More votes in the YouTube poll. Come join us. We'll be right back.
Here's something I run into a lot with younger homeowners, and happened to be with my little boy. He was looking at purchasing homes. This house had a 20-plus-year-old furnace and air conditioner. And, of course, my advice was never buy a house with that old of an air conditioner. You will be buying a new one. And he goes, well, how much does a new one cost? For his size home, told him figure tens of thousands to over $20,000. If you're looking at a house, my personal opinion is make sure it's a newer unit. If not, request buyers to put in a newer unit. That makes it easier on your 15 or 30-year mortgage if it's included in the loan. Just my piece of advice for that. But if you're hearing this after the fact and you do need a new air conditioner, sorry to hear that, but call me, Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest of numbers. It is 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. God bless.
Point Pest Control, point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com. Have you called them yet? I hope you have. If you haven't made the phone call yet, jot this number down. Throw it in your phone and save it as point with an E, Pest Control, 636-798-0023. That's 636-798-0023. If you have critters coming into your home, you need somebody who has the expertise to get rid of them. Now, I am a Premier Service Plan subscriber. Quarterly treatments at my house so that we don't encounter those bugs. And if I do happen to see one, I'll tell you what, if I see one spider, I'm on the phone with Point Pest Control going, you need to come here. I need to see you. These things need to be gone. They can understand kind of the movement of these different types of bugs that might be in your house and know where they're coming from, where they're storing themselves, and God forbid their families, and get rid of them. That's why I subscribe to Point Pest Control, and I hope you will too. Mention Annie, and you will save 10% on the top of whatever they got going. 636-798-0023, pointpestcontrol.com.
Baron Glass and Door, simply the finest when it comes to glass, mirror, and shower doors. Why? That's easy. Our sales staff and installation team consist of decades and decades of knowledge, consistently keeping updated on all of the industry's newest and greatest ideas, which of course means you get the best advice along with the best installation. One trip to Chesterfield Valley will show you why our prices aren't the only reason to buy from us. That's Baron Glass and Door.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Americans demanded border security, and House Republicans delivered. According to the Department of Homeland Security, for 10 consecutive months, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has reported 0 illegal aliens released at the border. I'm proud to have worked with the Trump administration to secure our southern border and uphold our immigration laws, and will keep fighting to advance strong policies that protect Missourians and keep America safe.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. As a U.S. blockade of Iranian ports continues, a new source of economic pain on the way.
The Iranians should know that this is going to be the financial equivalent of what we saw in the kinetic activities.
The U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says financial pressure can include freezing more funds on Iran's leadership and Revolutionary Guard, along with possible secondary sanctions for companies that deal with Iran. Senior Pakistani officials arriving in Iran as part of an effort to restart peace talks after no deal was reached in talks last weekend.
We've remained very much engaged in these negotiations, in these talks. You heard from the vice president directly and the president this week that these conversations are productive and ongoing, and that's where we are right now.
But White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt denies reports about the U.S. requesting an extension of a 2-week ceasefire that expires next week. Several House Democrats introduce articles of impeachment against the Pentagon chief.
The impeachment resolution against Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is authored by Arizona Democratic Congresswoman Yasamin Ansari, an Iranian-American, and co-sponsored by 8 other Democrats. The resolution says Hegseth violated his oath of office by overseeing an unauthorized war against Iran, accuses him of war crimes, and of breaking the rules of armed conflict. The Pentagon has stated that unlike the Iranians, the U.S. military does not target civilians. But the resolution mentions Hegseth's use of the Signal app to discuss a strike on the Houthis in Yemen last year and accused him of obstructing congressional oversight.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal, a Pentagon spokeswoman, calls this a Democrat attempt to make headlines and says Hegseth will continue to protect the homeland and project peace through strength. Meantime, another Democrat-led war powers resolution has just failed again in the U.S. Senate. It would have required the U.S. to withdraw forces from the conflict until Congress authorizes further action. America is listening to Fox News.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Windy and warm with a mix of clouds and sunshine going through our Wednesday afternoon. We'll keep an eye out for a couple of scattered showers. 82 for the high. We just simply kind of watch the sky. Be ready to react, but it's not going to be raining all the time. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms, 64. Thursday, partly sunny. A couple of scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms around 82. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the Preferred Partner Plan. And be ready for the first heat wave. AirComfortService.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ring.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Well, Brad told me I had a surprise guest coming in at 2:05. So, Brad, I'm handing it over to you.
Yes.
Surprise guest in studio.
Let me put these guys up on screen.
No, you do the show.
Okay.
I'm going to do that.
All right, I got this. All right, so we've got Amy Colvin and Libby Guberle from the Lutheran Elementary School Association. And if you guys remember, we did a scholarship drive. That was, 2 years ago? And they've come in to celebrate something with us.
We've done it 2 years.
Well, yeah, we've done it over
Yeah,
and
but
over.
we set it up 2 years. 2 years ago was the first one, and that's kind of where we got
2 Januaries ago.
Yeah, let me put your mics on, guys. But anyway, we're here to celebrate a milestone for the Annie Frey Show Scholarship.
Yes, we're really excited. This last month, we got our first spin out from the endowment that was set up last year. So we got our first.
That's so exciting.
Our first spin out. Oh my gosh! Sorry, that's my phone.
That's another donation. Thank you. LESASTL.org/Annie. Go donate. Thank you.
So, yes, and so that spent out enough money for 2 scholarships, and we just happened to be in the middle this month of awarding all the scholarships for this coming fall for our students. And
That's
so
so
we hope
incredible.
to award another 700 scholarships. 2 of them will be Annie Frey Show scholars.
And that just continues to grow and grow. That does not happen without you listeners. I know that throughout the course of the year, people are like, are you going to do that again? Are you going to do that again? And it's so incredible for something like that to be able to be established and then over the course of time just continue to grow and bless people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So every year we'll be taking about 5% out of that and putting that to work in the scholarship.
That's so great.
Yeah.
And with the stock market and the increased donations, that 5% gets bigger every year.
Yes.
So that's
I
exciting.
won't insert politics in this segment, but I might in the next. Here's a question. Can if somebody wanted to donate to the Annie Frey Show Scholarship right now, could they do that?
Any day, anytime.
How would they do that?
Same way they've done it always. LisaSTL.org/Annie, and it says donate now, and that goes directly to
our scholarship.
Endowment.
LESASTL.org.
Wait a minute. You're saying somebody could donate right now? I don't believe you.
You don't?
Well, why don't somebody give it a try?
I guess we'll just have to see.
You can do it. You can donate, Ryan.
Oh, yeah?
Why don't you test it out?
Demonstrate.
Oh, I think we should. I think Ryan, put that.
Just 10%.
LESASTL.org.
/Annie. Do you know how to spell my name?
Oh, no. FRY.
So, yeah, exactly. So when you're giving out these scholarships, there are people listening right now who might be interested in an alternative to public school. This April, people are registering for school for next year right now. In fact, a lot of people have registered. I'm registered for next year. If somebody's like, gosh, I just don't know if I want to keep doing the public school thing, or maybe they're relocating, maybe they were maybe they're homeschooling and they're like, okay, let's get the kids in a classroom right now. They don't want to go all the way to the public school. How do they learn about the schools, the Lutheran schools that are around this area? And then furthermore, if they're interested in applying for some scholarship help, like what the Annie Frey Show Scholarship is doing, how do they do that as well?
So they just go to LisaSTL.org.
You want to spell it again, Ryan?
LESASTL.org/schools instead of /Annie, and they'll see all of the 34 schools that we have in the 80-mile square radius.
Missouri and Illinois alike.
And yes, and St. Charles. And they can look and see if there's one near them, and they can always apply. We have around-the-year registration, and they can come in at any time. Scholarships for the year have closed officially, but they can still apply because they will be awarded throughout the summer. So with Missouri Scholars and other things, or people may withdraw. There are reasons that scholarships get awarded and then withdrawn.
Okay.
Because people may do other things.
Mm-hmm.
So money comes back to us. And so in that second round, we award whoever's applied since then, late applications, that kind of thing. But we always do new applications in front of late applications.
Okay.
So there's a possibility it could happen for sure. And these last 2 years, we've had a lot of money come back to us in the Missouri side, particularly because of the Missouri Scholars Program.
Okay.
I just went and donated.
You did?
And it was so easy, you guys.
Can you give me my debit card
partially
back now?
partially because apparently I've bought things on this work computer before and it auto-populated.
It's just so easy.
That'll be real easy.
Thank you.
Well, now it's you and Dan Reardon, I think.
There you go. Do you feel like I've always loved, and my biggest exposure to the area Lutheran schools is through sports competitions, but if you've been at one Lutheran school, you have not been to all of them.
That's right.
They're all very unique. And if you were in driving distance, I mean, gosh, I could probably be in 6 different Lutheran schools with 20 minutes drive from where I live right now. And they're all very, very different. They offer very different things. There are incredible academic opportunities, music, athletic, a lot of robotics and STEM opportunities, drama. I know my kid's school is doing the Lion King play this Friday, and they're all very excited about that.
Yeah.
What do you talk to me a little bit about the variety of Lutheran schools that we have in the bi-state region?
Well, of course, they're all based on the community and the congregations that they come from. And each one has a life of their own. Some are very small. You'll find some very small schools, and you'll find some very large schools. And you'll find very diversified schools and some very community-centered schools. So they're all different kinds. You got your rural ones out in Illinois, and then you got your city schools in the city.
Yeah.
They're all very different. We have some amazing principals. They're all accredited. Not the principals, the schools are all accredited schools, and nationally accredited, and so we're very proud of them. We have a strong STEM program, and a number of our schools are active. We just started a aerial drone competition program.
Oh, that's cool.
That we are doing, and we hosted about 30 teams this last February across the state. So that was kind of fun.
That's very cool. Another thing that is worthy of mentioning that you are the Lutheran Elementary School Association, but I do want to mention as well that there are 4 high schools, Lutheran high schools in the bi-state area, with another one coming this fall.
That's right.
Are they still accepting student applications
in
Franklin County?
Absolutely they are. And then there's one that may be joining us from Centralia, which has been there
Christ
for a
our
while.
Rock.
Christ, yeah, they've been there for a while, but they're officially, and so they may be joining us as an associate member too. So we could be soon supporting 6 high schools in the bi-state area. But yes, definitely the growing school in Franklin and Gasconade County is a very exciting new opportunity to spread the gospel out in those areas. So we're excited for that.
I love when you guys come in, and I love doing this drive with you guys because Annie and Brad and I, we do a few different charity events per year. I think this one has maybe the most long-lasting impact.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the reasons that I'm always excited to do it when we do it with you in January. And, the surprise today was a surprise to all of us, well, except for Brad, who set it up. But I'm just glad to hear it. It makes me happy to hear that, there's all this follow-up. It's not just the event. You guys are coming back telling us what's going on. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for the support. It's just phenomenal. And it's the kind of thing that we do want to do. We want to create sustainability for our schools. That many of them have been around for 100 years. Lisa's only been around for 22.
Yeah.
So we're here to make sure the next 100 years happens and after that, and that God's can always be glorified glorified in an educational setting at all times. Another one of our unique aspects of our schools are our special education offerings.
Yes.
We work with our partner, the Lutheran Association of Special Education, LACE. They're not in every school, but there is a special education element in most of our schools. I would say 90%.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that is rare today in the Christ-centered education realm. You cannot get that everywhere. And so we're proud that association, LACE, has been around for 70 years.
Yeah.
And they've been doing that Christ work for a long, long time, and they're doing it in our schools. And so if your children do have learning disabilities or struggles or those kinds of things, you can still get that in the classroom at your school. And that's also exciting to know that every child will be loved according to what their needs are.
I get so many comments when I'm out and about from events or whatever. People appreciate that I do talk about the Lutheran schools because there's so many people here who are graduates of or have been blessed by their grandkids being able to attend a Lutheran school or, whatever that might be. And so, of course, I want to encourage people, if you are considering making a donation, to go to lesastl.org/Annie, and then you can donate to our scholarship, which will just grow in perpetuity with your help. I'm also wondering, do you take donations if people want to help get the word out? Because I get thanked so much for getting the word out. If a business was out there and wanted to partner with you to help get the word out about Lutheran schools, would you accept that conversation and maybe a donation?
Absolutely. I've already started putting a plan together for that.
So if somebody is listening right now and they're like, I can't do a whole lot, but I can maybe do a little, and they're part of a business, how could they partner with you?
So we have Amy handles our marketing department and development. She has nothing to do. And so, but we do have a marketing plan and a social media and direct, and we do billboards and things like that. So we're always looking for partners that will help us provide the opportunities for people to find our schools. And right now, you can find them better. It's more important now than ever because of some of the federal and state tax credit monies that can be awarded, at least on the Missouri side. Sorry, Illinois, but
don't get me
that
started.
can be. I know that can be awarded to our students in those schools.
Okay.
And the opportunity to promote the business as well. We love that opportunity. I think that I say that about our vendors at Brew in the Lou. Yes, we want to go out and make money for our organization, but I want them to shine. Craft beer is an industry that can go up and down and can be quite volatile. And if we're doing our job right, we're helping shine a light on that industry as well as a partnership. So we consider it completely a partnership that we want the businesses to be seen, and especially the ones that want to support Christ-centered education.
Yeah.
We want people to know about that.
There's a lot of businesses that might have some sort of charitable line item in their budget, and they're looking to give in a place that they really feel passionate about. And so if you're listening and that's you, and you know that you've got this blessing in the success of your business that you would like to pay forward, I would encourage you to go to the website, lesastl.org, and is there a contact there that would come to you?
Yes, info at Lisa STL, that you can say. It's the contact.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you for coming in.
We have one more thing.
Okay.
In addition to the beautiful flowers that Libby has to give you,
I brought flowers.
We have this beautiful plaque, or we hope you think it's beautiful.
That is wonderful.
That commemorates the endowed scholar. It's the Annie Frey Show Endowed Scholarship.
Can I hang that in Ryan's office?
You should.
Right in front of it.
Anything. The only place we ask is not to hang it in the bathroom.
Yeah, no. I will keep that close and cherish that.
But
Thank
otherwise
you.
It's yours. But we wanted to have something that would commemorate this amazing achievement by all of you and what you have done for generations to come.
And your listeners.
I was just going to say, and when I look at those beautiful children in that plaque, and I get to see my name on the show right there, it really is just 100% a reflection of you listening right now, and the generosity and the compassion that you have, and the heart that you have to help those local kids really honestly invest in school choice. It's incredible. I know there are so many people who have donated $20, small amounts, to make this possible. You're not Lutheran. You trust us here on the show, and you want to see kids have this opportunity. And it's very humbling, but it's incredible. I'm incredibly grateful to be a part of the blessing that Lisa is to these area kids. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ryan, you want to add something? Ring the bell. All right. Well, Livy and Amy, thank you for coming in and surprising me. It's very kind of you.
It's great to see you.
Thanks for having us.
LisaSTL.org/Annie if you want to learn more about what we're doing or any of the details we've talked about here today. We'll be right back.
Dollars or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
If you need a garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of your choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win. And we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
Hold up.
Check it out. Sports and local.
Ethan Hannaford's push-up bra.
Ethan Hannaford's push-up bra.
No.
Take it away, Ethan. Do sports and local now.
Sponsored by?
It's sponsored by All Financial.
Yeah, you've been after that intro.
Do you ever, now that we have a sponsor for this segment, do you ever have any regrets about any of these opens?
Yeah.
Figured that'd be the answer to that question. Hey, great win for the St. Louis Cardinals last night in game number 2 of a 3-game series against the Cleveland Guardians. Were once again, tell me if you've heard this one before to start off the season, trailing late in the game. They were down 5-2 going into the bottom of the 8th, and they ended up coming back, winning in extra innings by a final score of 6-5. With the win, 9-8 now on the season are our beloved Redbirds. JJ Weatherholt, oh, look at that. And that wasn't even you. That was Annie. She was walking by coincidence. Unbelievable.
By coincidence.
Unbelievable.
She did it on purpose.
Annie, imagine seeing you here.
It was an accident. Her wrist flipped. And she was actually trying to flip you off.
Yeah.
And
This is
then
not
she
true.
hit the bell. It just
Lies
worked
detected.
out perfectly.
We don't know her motivation. She might have been trying to flip me off. Hit the bell.
There you go. JJ Weatherholt
What are you talking about?
JJ Weatherholt hit 2 home runs in last night's game. Home runs number 2 and 3 of his major league career. Also had an awesome play, a leaping catch at second base. What else? The Cardinals were down to their final strike in this game. Nobody was on base in the bottom of the ninth inning, 2 outs. Mason Wynn hits a hard ground ball to second base, takes a bad hop on the second baseman, gets into right field. So now Wynn's on first. Wild pitch gets him to second, and then Joel Pozo hits a double to the gap, and that's how we tied the game in the bottom of the ninth. It was pretty epic.
That's pretty cool.
And then put up a scoreless 0 in the 10th, and Nathan Church, a walk-off sacrifice fly, gave the Cardinals
I love
their
his music.
7th. Oh yeah, it is good. He does worship music. What does he do? Graves in the Gardens?
I was making an Eric Church joke, so maybe it was not a joke.
Which player does Smooth Operator? Is that Victor Scott?
No, it's definitely
Jordan
not
Walker.
Victor Scott.
Is it Jordan?
It's Jordan Walker?
Yeah.
That's great. It's the worst walk-up song.
It's also the greatest walk-up
Yeah,
song.
that's kind of ironic because Nathan Church, actually, I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah.
Graves in the Gardens is his walk-up song. So and he said that unironically. That's funny.
JJ Weatherholt, first ballot Hall of Fame?
Yeah, slam dunk. It's happening.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll hold you to that.
Something to keep an eye out for you fans out there. A lot of very
The rest of you
young,
just
the rest of
hold
you
tight.
you can just screw off. We don't you don't
We'll
need to
talk
get
about,
us. You don't need
we'll
to
talk
get
about
us.
Trump in a second.
If you're a Cubs fan, bye. There have been a lot of very young players. I'm talking rookies, players that have been in the league for just a few weeks, already to start off the year, that have gotten huge extensions in 2026. I'm talking 8, 9, 10-year, 7 or no, that would be
7, 8, 9, or 10?
8-figure salaries and 9-figure salaries. I mean, I'm talking huge salaries, and you could very well see that happening with JJ Weatherholt this year. Would not surprise me at all if we saw the Cardinals end up locking him up long term. Large part because I think a lot of people think a salary cap is going to come next season, so I think locking him up now would make sense. But something to keep an eye out for in the near
Something you
future.
could chant about JJ Weatherholt then would be lock him up. Lock him up.
Thank you, Ryan. Always
I love his
appreciate
music.
when you're able to. Always appreciate when you guys are able to contribute to
You're
Sports
welcome.
and Local with me. You guys are such a huge help.
I love that you think we're contributing.
I love that you thought that I was being serious.
We're trying to knock you off the tightrope the whole time.
You guys do a pretty good job.
It's our job to do a good job.
The St. Louis Blues won their final home game of the 2025-26
These are
season
terrible.
last night. Final score of 7-5. They found themselves trailing late in the first period, 3-0, and early in the second period, 4-1. But they then went on and scored 5 straight goals. Jimmy Snuggerud, young prospect, scored his 20th and 21st goals of the season, and Dylan Holloway had the empty netter to seal the win in the final minutes of the game. Jordan Binnington, potentially his final start at home in front of the St. Louis Blues fans. And I'll say this, it was an 8:30 start last night, and it was still a sellout crowd. And in the final minutes of the game, the entire arena chanting, "Let's go Blues." Pretty awesome atmosphere for a team that's been eliminated from the playoffs, not really playing for anything besides your fans at that point. It was a pretty cool atmosphere and another great example of just how awesome St. Louis fans are. So the Blues will wrap up their season on Thursday against the Utah Mammoth, and then that will be the end of the 2025-26 season for the Blues. As mentioned, they have been eliminated from Stanley Cup playoff contention. Ryan.
Yep.
Share your thoughts.
Is it possible that the
Do
fans...
they have to be on the topic?
Yeah. Well, this is.
It's a very good question.
Well, it's actually a question itself. Is it possible that the fans cheering "Let's Go Blues" had no idea that this was the last game and that they had been eliminated from playoff contention?
Ryan.
Maybe a handful, but 18,000
The drunk
seems like a
ones.
large amount.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go Blues.
Yeah, let's go
That's
Blues.
right,
I
my
wanna face
favorite
the
thing to
Sharks in the
chant.
playoffs.
I mean, it was like 11:30. So I mean, it was pretty late, to be that many people still in attendance at that point. What else do I have for you people? Okay, here's something. The
You people, do you hear how he talks to us?
Yeah, what do you mean, you people?
Conservatives.
You guys make this so hard sometimes.
Just want you to. That's what you said yesterday about me being here. That I make your job harder.
I didn't say that.
No,
Ryan said that.
Off there, he's like, Annie, when you come back, you make this a lot harder to do.
He was trying to encourage you, Annie.
I was.
I know.
That's what he was trying
I think
to do.
I said yesterday I don't appreciate it.
I'm not good at encouragement, but I do try.
Honestly, it fit pretty well how the
And-
conversation on air went.
You know, when
It
you're
was
back,
honestly,
this job's a lot harder to do.
Yeah.
Good to see you. It's good to see you.
no, that was a really weird compliment.
Hey, it's good to see you.
The city
It's better when you're gone.
moving to.
Welcome back.
You done? You
No.
done over there? My goodness.
No, I got 33 minutes.
The city of Alton is weighing a proposal to cut funding
Alton, big fan.
to the Great Rivers and Routes Tourism Bureau. Move the city officials say requires further review before any decision is made. Alton Alderwoman Patricia Ford introduced an ordinance that would cut the city's funding to the regional tourism organization. In 2025, Alton contributed $590,000 to the Great Rivers and Routes. Mayor David Goins said the proposal to do so comes from concerns that Alton may be contributing more than other municipalities in the 6-county tourism district.
That's my favorite last name of a mayor in the whole area.
Goins?
Yep.
Why?
It sounds like the noise that Mario gets when he grabs one of those little shiny medallions.
Queen?
Very specific.
I was going to jokingly say, Ryan, your thoughts, thinking he would have none. And I would have been wrong.
Ryan always has thoughts.
This little clip's going to make
They
its
don't
way
have
back
to-
to him.
They don't have to
I
make
hope not.
They don't have to make sense, but Ryan always has thoughts. St. Louis County Executive Sam Page has filed a lawsuit against the county council and its chair, Rita Hurd Days, challenging an ordinance that would temporarily strip his county executive powers during international travel. The lawsuit came as Page is preparing to travel to London here in, what is today, next week, April 19th through 24th for an international trade mission, and as ongoing budget disagreements persist within the city council.
Sam Page, big fan?
Ryan, thoughts?
What's with the poster?
My Sam Page poster?
In your office. It's just, I thought you were doing it to troll Mark Cox, but you haven't taken it down.
Tell you what, when you go into Slackers and you ask them for a Sam Page poster, they look at you like you are crazy. They're like, would you rather have Eddie Van Halen? I'm like, no, I want Sam Page.
But they're like, who's that?
Who's the guitarist? His last name's Page.
Jimmy?
Is it Jimmy Page?
Yeah.
Okay, this is like a super callback. I was gonna say Jimmy. I was gonna say Jimmy Page, but didn't the Cardinals used to have a hitting coach? His last name was Page.
Satchel?
Nope, Satchel Paige, the legendary Negro Leagues pitcher, was not a hitting coach for the St. Louis
Sorry,
Cardinals.
Who was Jimmy Page a guitarist for?
Led Zeppelin.
Okay, whatever. Leave me alone. Anyway, I referred to whoever this Cardinals hitting coach was as Jimmy Page for a long time, and Jared would always laugh at me, but he never told me why. And then somebody else did, and I was embarrassed. But now I can't remember that guy's name.
It's worse that you wrote the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and asked them to induct Sam Page.
Cardinals hitting coach.
Congratulations to Sam, by the way.
Congratulations to
New
Sam
nominees
Page.
just came out a couple of days ago.
He and Billy Idol made the cut this year.
Yes, they did, as well as, I believe, Phil Collins.
I think you're
Phil
right.
Collins did, too. One more story?
I don't think
Yep.
so.
I don't think so.
Okay, Ryan has spoken. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
The Blue Angels
Oh,
are
okay.
returning to
Ryan's
St.
in charge.
Louis this summer as a part of the Spirit of St. Louis Air Show and STEM Expo. The Blue Angels released their updated show schedule last month, and they will be showing off their elite flight demonstration on June 6th and 7th in Chesterfield. They'll be performing their signature high-speed aerial maneuvers and type formations. The event will also have a variety of other aviation displays and interactive displays focused on science, technology, engineering, and math. You okay over there? You good?
This is brand new news to us. We did not know this was happening, even though we had the chairman of the event on last week.
It was like a month ago.
Or whatever.
It's good to remind the people of these things.
You're right.
You can
okay?
watch my full flight in an F-18 Super Hornet with a Blue Angel pilot on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. If you haven't seen that yet, they have a GoPro in the cockpit with me, and it's on me, and you can see me I do every maneuver that they do in the show. I do not with the other Blue Angels, so I'm not inches away from other planes, because nope. But if you ever want to see that, go to youtube.com/Annie Frey. You'll see the video there. Great work, Ethan. Thanks. I was going to say bye.
Bye.
Kind of. For a minute. We'll be right back. I'm so excited to be talking to you about what is coming to the St. Louis Funny Bone. Ryan, I'm going to bring you in here. Ethan's still in here. David Koechner is coming to the Funny Bone.
Dude.
When David Koechner's name came up, what was it, like earlier this week?
Yesterday.
You guys ran in 4 circles in place. So
Yeah,
excited. He's coming to the streets of St. Charles Funny Bone Thursday through Saturday. David Koechner. And what's your favorite thing about David Koechner? Do you have a fave?
Well, SNL, The Office, and Anchorman are the 3 main things that I bet he hears the most
Known
about.
for his roles as Todd Parker on The Office and
Todd
Champ
Packer.
Kind from Anchorman and Anchorman 2. He's been on Showtime and Comedy Central, alumnus of Chicago's Second City Theater, which is legendary. Got his first break as a cast member of Saturday Night Live, and he's appeared in more than 200 films and television shows. David Koechner is going to be at the streets of St. Charles Funny Bone Thursday through Saturday. You can go to stlewisfunnybone.com. That's stlewisfunnybone.com. He's going to be in studio with us on Friday.
I can't wait.
Yep.
I can't believe it.
Are you guys just going to like geek out like little girls the whole time?
Yeah, we're going to be like, do the character. Do that one character. Just over and over.
This
just
will be the
yelling.
last time that we have David Koechner in the studio, but it'll be a good time. If you want to go see David Koechner at the streets of St. Charles, go to stlewisfunnybone.com. You can get your tickets and information there. Also, Thursday at the Westport Funny Bone, Johnny W. is performing, and Friday through Sunday at the Westport Funny Bone, Will O'Donnell, St. Louis's own. So get your tickets locked up for David Koechner coming Thursday through Saturday to the streets of St. Charles. Before they are gone, they will sell out fast. For all the details on all of those shows, St. Louis Funny Bone, stlewisfunnybone.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
The YouTube live chat poll today is, should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important? A couple comments I'm going to pull up here. One from G. Wibbs says, I believe in free speech, but I disagree with the Pope. Leave it at that and move on. And then Mark says, no, focus on faith. I'm Catholic. And those are your options, too. You can say, yes, I'm Catholic. Yes, and I'm not Catholic. No, I'm Catholic. And no, I'm not Catholic. If you agree or disagree with this question, let us know. We're going to give you the results here in about 20 minutes. It is 2:35. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com. From the gateway to the airwaves. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
So you're telling me that David Koechner is the character in Anchorman who says the line in our intro?
Yeah, he's the one that goes, it is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady. That's him.
Do we tell him?
I don't know. Is he going to be...
He's going to be here. Is it at 1 o'clock on Friday?
1 o'clock.
So we're going to play the intro.
Oh, he'll maybe hear it then.
He'll maybe hear it.
Maybe.
What he's gonna
Maybe
say.
David Koechner will hear the open. Maybe we'll see. We'll have to tell him
We'll
then.
just bring him in here, and when it plays, we'll just start coughing.
No. We'll do the whole interview in that voice, all of us.
Oh my gosh.
Mr. David Kushner, this is the Annie Frey Show. Listen to what Annie's got to say. She's got a question.
Go ahead, now you do it.
I don't know if I can, Ryan. I don't know if I can.
We'll think we're so funny.
We'll think we're so funny.
He'll remember us.
I don't want him to remember us that way.
Ooh, I would.
You're still doing the voice.
A little bit, not on purpose.
This is how I talk.
David Kushner, will you remember us when you leave?
If you are a celebrity of his level, and again, Friday at 1 o'clock, he'll be in studio with us. And I'm excited to be bringing Funny Bone info to you. So we're going to be telling you about the shows that are coming up. Super excited to be partnering with them. But it also gives us the opportunity to have these people in. A lot of times we have Fox News people in because they are connected to a lot of these comedians who do the comedian circuit or whatever. But we get to have these folks in. We had Kevin Farley in once before. I think we might be having him back in again soon. I do like want to ask and be like, I don't know. I got to do some research. The Trump question.
For Kevin Farley?
For anybody who's in. I mean, obviously the Fox News people, they're on the Gutfeld show, among other things, and they're talking to a Fox News audience. I don't think David Koechner is in St. Louis because of the Fox News audience.
I'm thinking of Jim Brewer's openly conservative.
Oh, yeah, he is. All I could think of him, he was a goat on SNL
at
one point.
Goat Boy.
And that is, I actually see more of a goat when I see him than I see Jim Brewer.
Yeah, that's his
that
most
was a
famous
character for me.
Yeah.
I don't really remember what he did, but I think he ate paper.
He would just eat stuff while he's interviewing. There was one joke, and it was the same sketch every time. He would interview somebody playing an artist who was no longer that relevant. So that's why they were on Goat Boy's show. And he would always ask them, "What are you doing now, man?"
Oh, yeah, that's right. He'd bleat.
And then they'd go, "Well, after I left Wham, I took some time off to reflect on the success of Wham." And like it was the same answer no matter who the guest was. And then they'd cut back to him and he was just eating the couch.
Chris Kattan was...
Mango?
Mango, yes.
He was also Mr. Peepers.
Yes. Yeah, that's they were two different characters, and they were actually not that far apart. One of them spoke, and the other one didn't.
You said you met Chris Kattan here one time, and
it
didn't go well?
No. No, I had just joined this show, and I thought, ooh.
Did it not go well because of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had just joined the show, and I thought, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get Chris Kattan to record some liners for us, because he was here for Y98. He wasn't even here for us at all.
Were you with me, or were you with Glover?
No, I was with you. I had just started.
Is my show involved in the story?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I don't know that.
And I was like, Mr. Kattan, the Annie Frey Show would like to ask you these questions, and I'm asking you on behalf of Annie Frey. That's the way I put it. And he said, oh, yeah, I can do some lines. And I was like, what about some lines from a sketch? And he was like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know the rules. I thought that'd be fun. And it was all something that was going to be for the show. I don't remember what it was. And then after that, it was like, he was like, and also I'm not going to do any liners, because I guess I just blew it. I don't know.
You ticked him off?
I don't know. And so I got a picture with him, and I still have that. I'm just like, hey, and I'm holding a thumbs up, and he's like in a coat,
he doesn't
slumped over.
Look happy to be there.
No.
You think he remembers you?
I think so, because I did the questions about the sketch in that voice.
Okay.
Mr. Kattan.
Oh my gosh.
And he was leaving too. That's the other thing. I was
so you were asking for more of his time.
It was like a good investigative journalist, like chasing down the mayor. Mrs. Spencer, can you do some lines from a sketch? And he was just not interested at all.
Do you feel ick when you think about that experience?
Yeah, I hate it.
I'm glad I brought it up.
It's really bad.
It's really bad?
It's really bad because he wasn't even here for 97.1. He literally did nothing for our station. He was just doing a morning show hit on Y98. And I came in early and basically bamboozled
Did you
him.
come in early just specifically to see Chris Kattan?
Yeah, just to get lines.
And you blew it?
Yeah.
For my show.
I got a picture, though.
This is a new part of this story. I did not know that I had anything to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You were directly involved. He remembers you probably more than me.
Oh, stop it. All right, it's been a minute, but it's now time for Anti-American Idol is back.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time for Anti-American Idol.
For Anti-American Idol. All right, we've got a new installment of Anti-American Idol here, and I don't know if you've heard this one yet, Ryan, but they're singing again.
3, 4, 1. We see that there's a wrong to be righted to. We know that we are stronger when united. 3. We exercise our right to assemble. 4. That's when the proud and mighty start to tremble. Just in case you're wondering. Just in case you're wondering. Just in case you're wondering. Hey, hey, look this way. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Is it super disappointing when the song is over and Trump's still your president?
I don't
what
know.
happens in those moments? There's probably a cheer. I would imagine it's not claps, it's probably snaps. And then it's over.
No, I completely disagree. That song is so inspiring that when it's over, you probably pass out because you just exerted all of your energy.
Well.
And you are like, you just peaked your life. So no, when that song is over, you're glad because you have just went on the wildest ride in the wilderness.
They're singing in a circle. They're just singing to themselves. And us now.
Yep. I was looking for some of our old songs. Oh, here we go.
Are they ones that you made?
Well, these are ones that were
You
other
remixed?
American Idol songs.
Oh, which side are you on?
I'm not on this
Which
side.
side
I'm on
are you
the other side of whatever
on?
this is.
Which side are you on?
Wait, we're going to break it down here real quick.
Are you on? We'll fight against Joe.
It's a little flat.
We'll fight Elon Musk.
Yeah.
No Elon's kept within our walls. We'll fight from dawn to dusk. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me. Which side are you on?
They go to the major key.
Which side are you on? Trump's coming.
Okay, turn it off. I can't do anymore. I can't do it anymore. It's bad.
I think those people won. They stopped Doge.
Where's the British Simon Cowell when you need him?
I can't
take him back.
I can't believe that people were that hard against stopping government spending.
I want to add that was those were protesters that were singing, and you put the music behind that. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, that music was not originally there.
You did a pretty good job.
Thank you.
All right, let's do a little Morgan Wallen palate cleanser. YouTube live chat poll results when we come back. Home Shield Foundation Repairs.com. Reach out to Matt Hayes right now if you have water in your basement. We've got rain in the area, and you know that forecast predicts rain. You are a little clenched because you know that water's coming back in your basement. It's a problem. It's degrading your foundation every time it happens, and you need to fix it. If you're a little afraid of what that might mean, I want you to know that if you call somebody who you can trust, that fear is going to dissipate. You're going to have the facts you need to know about the fix you need. And that starts with a phone call to Matt Hayes. 314-271-9900. Call 314-271-9900. A local family-owned company right here out of St. Louis. Home Shield Foundation Repair is a business that you can trust. Matt Hayes is a man you can trust. He has an incredible staff, a loyal staff, and you're getting the best hands with Home Shield Foundation Repair. 314-271-9900. Call 314-271-9900 for any foundation repair concerns you have. Matt Hayes is your guy. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
What's happening now?
We must have the enriched material out of Iran.
Quote, a lot is happening today and tomorrow. We have all the ingredients for a deal, but it's not all there yet.
97.1 FM Talk.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-948-7878. That's 800-948-7878.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative.
Do boys listen to music and pine about girls? I'm talking about younger boys, not you.
Probably at one point, yes.
What age?
I don't know, teenager, maybe early 20s. I wouldn't have done it with this song, but this song just makes me laugh.
Why?
And cry, because it's very emotional, and because of
Let
that,
them say we're crazy.
it's funny. Yeah.
It's from Mannequin.
And Naked Gun.
Oh.
The new Naked Gun.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that yet.
It's the
I know you
snowman
loved
scene.
it.
It was great.
It's the snowman scene. I just remember being, gosh, when was Mannequin, the movie? Mannequin.
1984.
87. So, I mean, it was on TV all the time. And I'm talking about like our childhood TV, which was sans cable. Channel 11 probably, a KPLR production. I just remember watching this and that love story. I feel like it was one of the first love stories where I kind of understood that there was like a love story happening. And that song, it just makes me feel like it's the 80s or the early 90s again. And I'm just thinking about, windbreaker suits. That's right. What did we call them?
Yeah, tracksuits.
Swishy pants
Ski
that were
suit.
electric blue and pink and lime green and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Oh, gosh, what a time to be alive. It was good.
It's a great band and song.
Starship?
Well, they kept changing they were originally Airplane. They're like, how about Starship?
That's cooler.
And then somebody else left, and they're like, how about just Jefferson?
Like the president?
Yeah.
We're going to get to the YouTube live chat poll results here shortly. So if you haven't voted yet, should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important? Yes or no? And let us know if you're Catholic. The YouTube channel, I've been talking to you guys about this off air a lot. I'm trying to refine and pay a little attention to the YouTube channel just because you can like work with YouTube or you can work against YouTube, and you can be working with YouTube and then YouTube's like, nah, we're going to change. And then you got to adapt and, you know, bob and weave and stuff. And one of the things that I've been using a lot is Grok. I've been using AI to try to put together better things faster, which I think is really where AI comes in, right? To do it better, but also faster. And if it doesn't do it better, as long as it doesn't do it worse, and it still does it faster, why are you not using it? One of the things that it says for me to do on the thumbnails that I put up with YouTube is it wants me to use, I had just headshots of us. They're not even headshots. They're just pictures of the four of us myself, Ryan, Brad, and Ethan, so that if you open it up, you'd be like, okay, here are the people who are on the show. These are the people who'll be talking. But I always use the same photos, which apparently is a faux pas, according to AI. And I guess YouTube, because the numbers have been doing better since I've been listening.
YouTube's like, oh, yeah, we love this eye candy.
Well.
Give us more of Brad.
Yeah. And what it wants is, I don't remember which one. It was something about like the Iran war. And artificial intelligence, Grok was like, you're talking about sending troops into Iran for the Iran war in your poll, but you're smiling really big in the picture. This seems like a conflict of interest. And I'm like, well, you've definitely thought about this.
I guess so.
So it wants reaction pictures of all of us. If I include it, it wants those reaction pictures. So I keep thinking that I need to remember you, Ryan. I need some better reaction photos from you. Get that microphone out of your way. And yeah, and so if you ever want to see, he's going to do some right now. I haven't told him he's going to do this. I just need I need some steady, clear reaction photos. And it's like, are you supposed to be happy? Are you supposed to be skeptical, disappointed?
I can't even see your face.
It's like, this is the type of hoops that we're willing to jump through so that I can get 200 more people to see us on YouTube. Is it worth it? I don't know. I want your marketing. I want your marketing suggestions, folks. Because if you can see what I'm resorting to right now on the YouTube live stream, using that one, then you'll understand that I'm at my wit's end. I just have Ryan being pensive and frustrated and happy, and here's a sexy pose.
Sexy? That wasn't sexy.
I know. What do you got?
Maybe you can get full body.
But when you're going through YouTube, Brad, I know you look at YouTube.
Yeah.
If somebody's facial reaction is indicating that something is shocking or hilarious, I mean, it does, I guess, catch your attention.
Not really.
Joe on YouTube says, Ryan, give us a lip bite. Ew. Like a beaver. You don't pay attention to that?
I'm drawn more to the words. What is this about? Especially if it's like a short or reel or something like that. The reaction of the host, I notice it, but it also is like what we're doing now. It's I look at it and I see these people going, but
that's good radio. Right
great
there.
radio, but
theater
anyway,
of the mind.
Yeah, just
what was Brad doing?
Substitute whatever you want there. But I mean, the reaction, the host or the video creator's reaction picture on the thumbnail to me doesn't change anything, but apparently it has to, because otherwise YouTube wouldn't feed that stuff.
I want to get a sponsor for a commercial break. I want it to be like a skincare sponsor or something where we spend one commercial break just doing facial reactions for the future thumbnails, and we'll sponsor it.
Okay.
Brought to you by Beauty Barn.
Beauty Barn.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
I bet you
Sounds
do.
classy.
What you just you're cheap.
Barn.
You just did all that for free.
Oh yeah, you just said do it, and so I did it.
Fair enough. All right, let's get to the YouTube live chat poll. Brad, your thoughts. Should the Pope continue to weigh in on political matters he feels are important, yes or no?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's his job as the Pope, and it's his right as a person. But, when you weigh in, don't expect there to be no blowback on what you say.
I think that's good.
Yes, and I'm not Catholic.
You're a yes and not Catholic. Okay, well, let's get to the results here. 15% say yes and I'm not Catholic. That's what we all said, right?
I think so.
12% said yes and you're Catholic. So 12% of our audience right now of 250 votes are Catholic and said keep going. 73% say no. And 30% of you are Catholic. Mark Reardon coming up next.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.
Avoid budgetary sinkholes on your next home improvement project.
So they're not over improving a property and draining other resources.
Financial planner Ed Jertson says project planning should include insurance costs, upkeep, and the tax man.
Property tax reassessments, an in-ground pool in addition to your house.
Home remodeling was projected to be a $500 billion industry in 2025. I'm Rob Hart.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your